On day 1, I spawned into the aspen forest as a Speakerman. 10 hearts? Uh-oh, I better play this safe, or I'm gonna be in real trouble. But I didn't have time to form a strategy. Suddenly, the trees started setting fire around me. Some even exploded. What's happening here? Out of the fire stomped my worst nightmare, the many-legged, fully operational G-Man Spider Toilet, the leader of the Skibidi Toilet Army. Oh no, you're the last thing I wanted to see.
I'm the last thing you'll ever see, Speakerman. The Skibidi Army will conquer this world, just like it conquered all the others.
Not if my speakers have anything to say about it.
Speak to this.
He blasted me with his laser eyes, knocking me off my rhythm. He was far too strong to fight. All I could do was turn around and run. I ran through the woods, hoping to avoid the laser blasts. When the G-Man was gone from view, I took a moment to relax, but I wasn't out of the woods yet. Literally and figuratively. A swarm of normal Skibidi Toilet came out of the trees, all fixed with malicious intent on me. I was outnumbered and out of luck until Sonic Boom! A blast of sound fired out of me, pushing back the advancing toilet squadron. That gave me just enough time to turn and get the heck out of Dodge. The Skibidis are here already. I need to warn the Alliance before they take this world too. On day 2, I went into survival mode deep in the aspen forest. My commander must have sent me here to investigate the Skibidi threat on other worlds, but I won't be able to do anything without the proper tools. I found some peach trees and broke them down for wood, piling logs and logs of it into my inventory along with some sticks. I gathered some peaches, which I ate to refill my hunger bar. Can't be a good soldier if I don't have healthy rations. I built myself a crafting table and a wooden pickaxe. From there, I dug up my first stone blocks and made myself a stone pickaxe and a stone sword. And as if on cue, a gaggle of standard Skibidi Toilets came rolling out of the tree line. Skibidi, 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 skibidi. So sick of hearing that already. With my new stone sword and my sonic booms, I fought them until the entire squad was defeated. Whew, that wasn't easy, but at least I've cleared the area now. Maybe I should make a base here. With the spare wood I'd collected earlier, I started building myself a basic one-room base. It isn't much, but every war effort needs to start somewhere. On day 3, I headed out into the canyons. There, I could find plenty of stone to harvest. A wooden base is fine for a start, but given some of my enemies have laser eyes, I need something a little stronger. I was halfway through mining stone blocks out of the canyon walls when I saw some strange bony creatures flying above. Soul vultures! One flew straight down towards me and started circling me.
Yeah, fresh meat. Haven't seen one like you before.
Ah, stop biting! I'm from another world, and I'm here to save you all from a terrible threat.
Shush now, speaker boy. Food doesn't talk.
The soul vultures descended on me, and there were too many of them to fight off, even with my sonic booms. All I could do was turn and run before they picked me to the bone. I guess not all of the creatures here are unified against our common enemy, but that didn't mean everything here was against me. On my way back through the canyon, I ran into a mandrill sitting alone. She looked upset. Is everything okay, Miss Mandrill?
My name's Mandy, and now everything is terrible. Those diabolical toilets. They destroyed my home and took everything from me.
Those blasted Skibidi Toilets! Come with me, Mandy. I'll let you stay at my base. I'm Zozo, and together, we'll get revenge on the porcelain monsters who did this to you.
Oh, thank you, Zozo. You're a hero.
She left with me as we made our way back across the treacherous canyons. From day 4 to day 5, I returned back to my base in the aspen forest with Mandy the Mandrill. I decided I should start from scratch, so I tore down my starter base and used the materials I'd collected to remake my base. I ended up going for a toilet base. The plan is to pretend to be one of the Skibidi Toilets. I bet they won't suspect a thing. Inside the toilet, I even built a new room for Mandy, giving her a bed and some furniture in there. Figuring we could use some extra luxuries, I also built a kitchen and a lounge, so we could start to feel a little more at home in this strange new place. She seemed delighted with it.
Wow, Zozo, this is amazing. I'm going to rest here and get my energy back. Thank you for all you've done.
Rest well, Mandy. When you're fully recuperated, we'll talk strategy. Mandy retired to her room while I conducted a perimeter search around the area. I needed to make sure that no one found the new base suspicious. That was a good instinct because a squad of Skibidi Toilets were right in front of me. I'm putting my war face on. Or I would, if I had a face. I drew my sword and fought them to the last bowl. It wasn't easy, but in the end, my battle experience served me well, and they were destroyed. And even better, once they were gone, they left behind a new tool, an anti-skibidi chemical blaster. Just falling into my hands is probably the last thing that they wanted. I'm gonna make them regret it. From day 6 to day 8, I left for a pasture outside the forest, knowing that we'd need some more natural resources for the base. It was just my luck to happen upon some pigs. Our army is gonna need rations. Pork and bacon will do nicely. I herded some pigs back to the base and built a sty for them in just the right spot. I don't have that many pigs, all things considered. That's why I returned to the pasture, ready to shepherd some more. Then, boom! A rocket hit the ground next to me, causing a massive explosion. It left me badly injured. And even worse, when the explosion cleared, I saw the G-Man spider toilet skittering towards me.
Your end is nigh, Speaker Boy. None shall stop the Skibidi Army.
Before I even had time to equip my blaster, he unleashed his full arsenal, firing rockets and his laser eyes. There was no way I could fight him, especially injured. All I could do was run away, dodging as best as I could. G-Man was not a force to be messed with. Thankfully, in the end, I still got out of there, injured, humiliated, but alive. From day 9 to day 10, I was back at the base, still recovering from G-Man's devastating surprise attack. He was still a lot stronger than I'd possibly accounted for, but at least I wasn't alone. Mandy the Mandrill approached me while I was in bed with some encouraging words.
You helped me, Zozo, and now I'm gonna help you. The war effort against the Skibidi Toilet army won't work unless we all pull together. Go look outside. I've made you something that I think will help inspire you.
I went outside and saw that Mandy had been constructing the start of a huge, amazing statue. I couldn't tell what it was yet, but I was so excited to see it when it was finished. Can you guess what it's gonna be? If you can, tell me down in the comments, cause I have no idea. But the statue wasn't the only thing Mandy had been working on. It turned out she was a pretty talented architect. That's why she was able to build a storage room, perfect for the weapons and armors we'd need for an army. She'd also built a training room where we could train ourselves and the anti-skibidi soldiers, and a furnace for smelting metals. Well, I better get my hands on some then. From day 11 to day 12, I was working in the training room, trying to hone my warrior skills. Mandy the Mandrill came in to join me soon after.
Thank you for taking me in, Zozo. I want to do everything I can to help you in the war effort.
That's good to hear, Mandy. We can't let G-Man and his minions take over the world. It'd be catastrophic.
Who or what exactly is this G-Man and all his Skibidi Toilet minions anyhow?
They're world-conquering monsters, self-replicating, self-motivating. They'll take over everything and leave nothing behind. They tried to do it in my world, and I think my commanders back to the Alliance must have sent me here to stop it from happening here.
That sounds horrible, Zozo. But how can we possibly stop them? There are so many of them, and they're so powerful.
All we can do is fight, Mandy. Fight with everything we've got. That way, even if we lose, we'll lose honorably.
Sounds like a plan to me, Zozo. We'll never let those evil toilets win.
From day 13 to day 15, I went back to the canyons to settle an old score. How can I be expected to be a good soldier and take on the Skibidi army if I can't even beat some soul vultures? The second I saw one of them circling above me, I couldn't help but feel nervous. Then, it spotted me and swooped down to engage.
Back again, Speaker Boy? Good. I was feeling rather peckish.
You don't know what you're doing, Vulture. This is a war. It's Skibidi Toilets versus everything else. You don't think they'll come for you too?
War is our bread and butter, Speaker. Skibidi Toilets, speakers, animals, all the same meat to us. We just enjoy the remains on the battlefield.
Then I guess I'd better take you down. But the Soul Vulture wasn't alone. The whole flock came swooping in, and I needed to use my sonic booms to take them all down one by one. When they were defeated, I had enough XP to level up, becoming bigger, stronger, and getting a boost to 24 hearts. But most importantly of all, I developed a new offensive capability, Energy Blast. Oh yeah, that's more like it. From day 16 to day 19, I realized that I needed to create weapons for the war effort against the toilets. That's why I ventured into an abandoned mining cavern beneath the first, ready to take on whatever I needed to in order to win the war. And I came up against resistance straight away, a deadly blaze creeper. It started shooting fireballs at me. I tried to take it down from a distance, but it wasn't working. I got closer, and he just exploded. That was dangerous. Hope I don't encounter any more of these. I should check if he dropped any useful loot. I approached the creeper hole, but instead of finding loot, the explosion uncovered a rich vein of iron ore. Exactly what I was here for. I collected up as much iron as I could and returned to my base. I used the furnace to smelt it and used some spare sticks to make a couple of iron swords. I kept one sword for myself and put the other in my training room. With these, I can start to arm an anti-Skibidi army of my own. With the spare iron, I made myself an iron pickaxe. This would be perfect if I ever got hands on some diamonds. From day 20 to day 22, I was woken up with a start by Mandy the Mandrill. She was hopping around in a blind panic.
Zozo, Zozo, you need to wake up.
What's happening, Mandy? You're confusing me.
G-Man, he's right outside. Said something about wanting to stamp out the resistance personally.
Oh no, then I better get out there and stop him. I grabbed my weapons and ran out to face G-Man. He wasted no time in firing one of his rockets, which barely missed me.
You've gotten stronger, Speaker Boy, but not strong enough. You think you can stop the ravages of war? We will consume all. The Skibidi rampage will never end. You're not a wall. You're barely even a speed bump.
All this talk, G-Man. I think it's because you're afraid, but I'm not about talk. I'm about action. Let's fight, you clogged up toilet. The battle began. He blasted me with his laser eyes, but I was much stronger than I used to be. I volleyed sonic booms and energy blasted him, and when those had thrown him off balance, I pulled out my Skibidi blaster and let him have it. Clearly, it was all a little too much for him. He broke away from the battle and used his rockets to destroy the blocks between us.
You got lucky, Speaker Boy. Next time, my minions will deactivate you for good.
He skittered off into the desert. Think I saw a crack in its ceramic armor. Maybe I can win this war after all. From day 23 to day 26, I worked tirelessly in order to build an upgraded weapon that might turn the tide of the war against the insidious Skibidi Toilets. I had to enhance my own individual abilities so that the next time I met G-Man, I could deal some real damage to him. Since fighting with music was my specialty as a speakerman, I chose to make a guitar weapon that would amplify the sonic frequencies of my speaker head. What an awesome idea for a weapon! I went into the training room to start trying it out on some blocks and found it was insanely effective. Now I'm loud and proud. Proud to be a devoted soldier fighting back against the forces of Skibidi, that is. And if you want to support the cause and help me in my other crazy adventures, remember to search ZOZO in order to find more of my videos. But for now, I'm going to get back to preparing for the battle so that we can win this war. From day 27 to day 31, I was baking some peach pies when Mandy came over to tell me she completed more of the statue and wanted to show me her progress.
This way, Zozo. It's really cool.
Okay, wait for me. I followed Mandy out to the area where the statue was being built and gazed in wonder at what it had already become. This would certainly inspire the troops to fight, but I couldn't help but feel as though something was missing. Hey Mandy, don't you think that part could use a bit of red concrete? You know, to really make it stand out?
You're right. I totally see that. But it's pretty rare around these parts. You'll have to travel to the Grad Gardens for it.
I've never been there before, but if it's for the statue, I'll do it.
Be careful out there, Zozo. The Skibidi enemies are everywhere.
You know me, I'm always careful, especially in enemy territory. Within a couple days' journey, I found myself in the Crag Gardens. Just as I had feared, the Skibidi Toilets had already spread to this biome too.
Skibidi, 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 skibidi.
A bunch of them came at me all at once, so I pulled out my guitar and started swinging away. The sonic waves were more than they could have, and were able to quickly defeat them all. When there were no more Skibidi Toilets in the area, I found out what they were guarding. It's a treasure chest with a whole bunch of red concrete and some extra red nether bricks. My quest was not in vain. I gathered the material and began to make my way out of the Crack Gardens. From day 32 to day 35, I was attacked by another pair of Skibidi Toilets while on my way out of the Crack Gardens. This is bad. There are more of them here than I thought. I struck them down with my guitar and scanned the area for more of the enemy. Thankfully, there weren't any more Skibidi Toilets, but there was a swamp pig.
There was me.
You should get to safety. This whole biome is crawling with those creepy Skibidi monsters.
I want to, but not without my best friend, Otto the Ocelot. He was taken by a Skibidi spider, and now he's trapped.
Those Skibidi fiends! I've been fighting against them for as long as I remember.
Maybe you can help me get Otto back.
I'll be all over it, like flies on trash. From day 36 to day 39, I followed the swamp pig's directions to the lair of the Skibidi spider that took his friend. It sounded dangerous, so I went along to spare the swamp pig from the troubles of the battlefield. When I got to the enemy base, I went into stealth mode and searched around for an entrance. I could hear the telltale annoying song of the Skibidi Toilets from inside the base, and that told me that I was getting close to where the Skibidi spider was.
Skibidi bop bop, yes yes. Skibidi bop, neep neep.
Please stop! Someone get me out of this toilet! I can't deal with any more of this song!
I looked and could see that Otto the Ocelot was inside a dungeon cell in the base, forced to listen to the song of the Skibidi spider over and over. That's terrible. I need to do something, but I need to be smart about it. Maybe if I tune my guitar a bit, I'll be able to take them by surprise with a new sound. From day 40 to day 43, I snuck inside the mini base and hid myself from the ordinary Skibidi Toilet soldiers. All I have to do is deal with the Skibidi spider who is guarding the ocelot, then I'll be able to extract him and escape. I quietly, carefully made my way to the center of the lair and over to the cell where Otto the Ocelot was held captive.
Let me go! You've held me captive for many days, and I can't help you with your war!
I wouldn't Skibidi say that. Your world seems Skibidi short on humanoids, so if we want to make more Skibidi toilets, we'll have to make Skibidi-doo with the animals. You will be the first ocelot to ever join the Skibidis.
No, please! I hate toilets! I try to avoid them!
Skibidi, Skibidi, Skibidi.
No!
Before Otto could come to harm, I stormed in, isolating the spider. Let that ocelot go, Skibidi spider. I'm the one you want.
I know you. You're that speakerhead that G-Man told me about. I'm going to Skibidi skin you.
The Skibidi spider charged forth, but I countered with my guitar. Thanks to the tuning I did the other day, my guitar now had greater knockback. Every time the Skibidi spider got close, I bashed him farther away and dodged his approach. It took a while, but with enough whacks, the Skibidi spider went down. Come on, Otto, we're busting out of here. Swamp Pig is waiting for you.
Thank you, Speakerhead!
Otto and I made our stealthy exit from the mini base and returned to the Swamp Pig. The two were happy as could be and promised to get as far from the Skibidi Toilets as possible. From day 44 to day 49, I transported the building blocks that I was able to find in the Crag Gardens back to my base in the Aspen Forest. It's good to be back after spending so much time in enemy territory. Our defenses are looking a little thin though. I'll do something about that later. Once I was inside the base, I met up with Mandy, who was just feeding the pigs, and I turned the building blocks over to her.
This is just what we need to continue work on the statue. Was it difficult to get?
Not for me. I'll do anything for the cause.
I'll get back to work on the statue, and here is some bacon for you.
Neat. I'm gonna work on something too. I went back to the perimeter of the base so I could do something about the lacking defenses I spotted earlier. The solution was simple, yet effective. A perimeter wall around the entire base. The Skibidis will have a hard time getting through that. When the wall was done, I went to see Mandy. She had already completed the next part of the statue. Looks like we were both working hard.
It's like you said before, Zozo. Anything for the cause.
That's right, Mandy. We're gonna win this war no matter what. That moment, I felt really inspired. From day 50 to day 53, the G-Man brought a big army of Skibidi Toilets to attack the base. The new defenses were able to slow them down, but we were definitely outnumbered. Even so, there was no way I'd give up. It was time to fight. You're going down the drain, you toilets.
Skibidi, 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 skibidi.
With the knockback of my guitar, I kept the Skibidi Toilets at a distance so that I could take them on individually. When they crowded, they were strong, but on their own, I could handle them. Divide and conquer. That reminded me that I was also fighting alone. Oh no. Mandy, I have to make sure she's okay. The G-Man spider toilet had Mandy in his terrible grasp. I almost couldn't watch.
Speaker boy, you've survived longer than we expected. But the next toilets we send after you will be like nothing you've ever seen. We'll make your mandrill friend into one of them.
I won't let them change me, Zozo, but come and rescue me soon.
Mandy and the G-Man disappeared into the distance. I vowed to myself that I'd get my friend back. But first, I had to take out the rest of these Skibidi Toilets. With my trusty weapon, I cleared out the base and began to feel strong as a new form of power took hold within me. I grew into a big speakerhead, feared by Skibidi Toilets everywhere. I had 40 hearts and a brand new ice blast attack that would freeze the Skibidi enemies solid. From day 54 to day 57, I restored the base to its former glory. The attack had been devastating, but even more devastating was the loss of Mandy, my friend, my fellow soldier, Mandy. If the G-Man made her into the first mandrill Skibidi Toilet, I might have to… No, I don't even want to think about that. I have to save her! I was full of concern for the animal mobs of the world because any of them might get turned by the G-Man and his many Skibidi Toilet minions. I decided to return to the Crag Garden and see if the Swamp Pig was still around that area. Sure enough, he was.
I'm around the area.
You are! Not to be rude, but weren't you going to go somewhere safer?
There aren't that many safe places left. You did a great job fighting the Skibidi Toilets when you were here last time, so me and Otto thought we could hold out here.
This war has gotten really bad. There must be a base of operations where their Skibidi Toilets are coming from. If we beat them there, maybe we can stop their armies from spreading.
I've heard that a lot of Skibidi Toilets have been seen and heard coming from the Crimson Forest.
If that's where the enemy is coming from, I have to proceed with caution. Still, this intel might help me save the world. Thanks, Swamp Pig.
I was thanked.
From day 58 to day 62, I mined for some diamonds because it was high time that I got myself some diamond gear. I need to be fully equipped when I face down the Skibidi Toilets on their own territory. It's diamond or nothing, man. I walked further through the cave and came to a dead end. I started digging and broke through into a massive cave. It was teeming with diamonds. And one very big tarantula. Oh, spiders are freaky. I don't want to get near this thing, but my anti-Skibidi ranged weapon won't work on it. So melee it is. I drew my guitar and squashed that spider with a few decisive smacks. I wonder if this is where those spider toilets get their legs. You know, I forget I asked. I gathered a bunch of the diamonds and crafted myself a diamond pickaxe and diamond sword. Success! From day 63 to day 66, I was walking by the incomplete statue in the base and decided to spend some time looking at it. Mandy had been doing her best to complete the statue so that it could be seen by all, and I did my best to help by getting the materials for it. We worked together. That was teamwork, and teamwork is the only way we can defeat those Skibidi Toilets. I will rescue Mandy and defeat the G-Man and all of his toilets. For the sake of this world and all the creatures living in it, we will win! And if you want to get in on the teamwork, you should hit that subscribe button so that you can see my videos whenever they come out. The more subscribers the channel gets, the bigger our team gets, and the more Skibidi Toilets we can defeat. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe! From day 67 to day 70, I infiltrated the Crimson Forest so I could see what was going on behind enemy lines. Before too long, I could see a huge base that definitely belonged to the Skibidi Toilets. I bet that is some kind of weapons research lab. They've probably got Mandy held captive inside there. Hang on, Mandy. I won't let them turn you into a Skibidi Toilet. I got out my anti-Skibidi chemical blaster and made my way towards the entrance. There were two classic model Skibidi Toilets standing guard over the gate. Both noticed me and began to run over.
Skibidi, 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 skibidi.
Skibidi dot dot no! I blasted the Skibidi Toilets with the chemicals, which flushed them away for good. This alerted some other toilets, but by then, I was already inside the enemy base. Bring it! I'll flush every one of you! From day 71 to day 74, my devotion to the cause brought me deeper into the enemy's base. I had never been in a place with so many Skibidi Toilets, but at this point, I wouldn't let anything stop me. Just one soldier, but if I fight well enough, I can keep taking them on and moving ahead. While I was expecting trouble, I was surprised to see the soul vultures had also come to roost in the Skibidi Toilet base. Those guys had never been nice or helpful, so the reunion wasn't a happy one. Let me guess, something about meat, like how you're gonna eat me?
Skibidi, skibidi, skibidi.
Huh, Skibidi? Did they get you guys or what?
Nah, just kidding. We soul vultures never change. We're all about scavenging and hunting, baby. It's living.
Well, I don't know if I'm relieved or annoyed. Let's just fight. I took out my diamond sword and cut down the soul vultures. They weren't that difficult to beat now that I'd powered up. In the same room that I was attacked by the soul vultures, I found a chest with a full suit of diamond armor. Super! I can take on the world in this. I could hear the Skibidi song getting deeper and louder, which meant that I was getting close to the G-Man. This'll be the rematch of the century. From day 75 to day 78, I found the evil Skibidi Toilet laboratory where the G-Man had been keeping Mandy. They had her caged enraged. Just like she promised, the Skibidi Toilets were unable to turn her into one of them.
You made it, Zozo. I was waiting this whole time, and I knew you wouldn't let me down.
I would never leave behind a fellow soldier, Mandy. We're in this together. Let me get you out of those restraints. I freed Mandy and broke a hole in the wall so she could escape. Run back to base. I'll be right behind you. Just then, G-Man's spider toilet burst into the room.
Well. We meet again, Speaker Boy. You're not going to get away this time.
You think I'm running? No way, G-Man. This is where I take you down and end your reign of Skibidi terror.
With those old tricks? I doubt it.
G-Man was right about one thing. He had seen my Sonic Blast and Anti-Skibidi Blast before, but I still had something he hadn't seen yet, my Ice Blast. I continued to hit him with the regular stuff to lull him into a false sense of security. Then, with perfect timing, I Ice Blasted him right in his big creepy face. When he was stunned, I closed into melee range and swung my guitar with all my might over and over. I shot several more Ice Blasts because they seemed to be working. Then I knocked G-Man back into a wall. His spider malfunctioned and started smoking. From the looks of it, the attack had beaten him, or so I thought. From day 79 to day 84, the G-Man spider rose from his fallen state and began to chant his Skibidi song while he grew larger.
Skibidi, 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 skibidi.
G-Man became a truly powerful monster, the strongest Skibidi toilet ever. The peak of their horrible evolution. Uh-oh, I'm not equipped for this.
What's the matter, Speaker Boy? Scared? Even your best weapons can't touch me now. I have gone to a level beyond. Soon, all things will be ruled by the cold porcelain of the Skibidi Toilets.
I will never let that happen. Mark my words, I will find a way to counter your new form, just as our side has done for every Skibidi toilet that came before.
But for now, you must run. You must warn all the world that I am coming. Skibidi, skibidi, skibidi.
I made a tactical retreat, as the G-Man predicted I would. This next battle would be a difficult one, but maybe, just maybe, it could win the war. From day 85 to day 89, I had made it back to my base, and I'd begun thinking of a new strategy to take down G-Man's Skibidi Spider Toilet's brand new Super Deluxe Skibidi mode. I was stumped because the previous fight forced me to use every weapon I had at my disposal. As I continued to puzzle, Mandy showed up and decided to help me come up with a new weapon. Any ideas, Mandy?
Yes, you've tried Sonic, Energy, Chemical, and Ice. But what about fire?
Mandy gave me a fire aspect enchantment to put on my diamond sword. Now I could burn up Skibidi Toilets with fiery sword slashes. But will it be enough?
Don't worry about that right now. I want you to see the statue. It's completed, and it looks great.
The statue was the Titan Speakerman, an inspiration for all speaker heads everywhere. Looking upon his imposing form reminded me that I could keep fighting and win this war. But how? We're so close. Yet G-Man is so powerful.
He isn't invincible. You nearly beat him last time as you are right now. If you grow to his size, it'll be an even fight.
You're right. Another power-up would be exactly what I need to win the battle.
I'll bet there's some Skibidi tech you could steal from their own base in the Crag Gardens.
From day 90 to day 94, I made my way back to the enemy stronghold in the Crag Gardens in search of a power-up that would make me as strong as G-Man. This time I didn't need to go to stealth mode because I blasted my way through the base with fire and ice, taking down every Skibidi toilet I met along the way. I wasn't even losing hearts fighting these Skibidi toilets anymore. They weren't even a threat. Only G-Man were the same. After a bit of a search, I found what I was looking for, a potion of power that could turn anyone into a super strong version of themselves. I'll examine this back at my base and make sure it's safe to drink. From day 95 to day 97, I was back at the base experimenting with the potion and gearing up to take on G-Man when I got a surprise visit from somebody I never expected. It was Swamp Pig.
Hey, what's cooking? You cooking up the diamond armor?
I'm warming up to take down the G-Man. Let's not question my methods, okay? Anyways, what's up, Swamp Pig?
Okay. I just came by to say that the world is a lot safer now that you defeated most of those Skibidi Toilets. If you can take down the G-Man boss, then this war will be over at last. I want to help with that, so I'm giving you this.
Swamp Pig handed over a full set of netherite armor, the best defense I could have for the final battle. Dang, Swamp Pig, where did you find this?
In the swamp. obviously.
That explains everything. Anyway, thanks. I equipped the armor and felt cooler already. On day 98, the war was looming, and I was starting to get a little nervous about the fight. Then, I remembered what I was fighting for. A world safe from Skibidi Toilets. Think that all of us would like to see that. What else would you like to see? Tell me who you want me to be next in the comments below. Don't forget to go search for more Zozo videos as well. There are so many to watch, and all of them have their own amazing stories and fun. That's Zozo. Go check it out. On day 99, I launched my attack on the Crimson Forest, finding it mostly deserted. I walked past the reception, the corridors, a terrarium where I found a vent shaft through, which I crawled deep into the base. It's incredible. You can't hear any silly Skibidi songs. Maybe they packed up and left. I kept crawling until the shaft gave way to my weight, and I dropped and landed right in front of J-Man.
You wish, Speaker Boy. Skibidi will never die as long as there is someone to carry on the chorus.
It was J-Man.
It was me.
Hey, that's Swamp Pig's joke. You can't steal it.
Actually, I can. Everything in the world belongs to Skibidi now. I am too powerful to be Skibidi Stop Doop Doop. Yes, yes. Your reckoning is upon you, Speaker Boy.
You know something, J-Man? They say everybody wants to rule the world. I don't know if that's true. I just know that you won't get to. I downed the potion of power, immediately growing to the same size as G-Man with 100 hearts. He fired his laser at me, but I can fire one too now, so I counter-lasered him. I'm a firing my laser! He was not expecting that, so I mixed it up with Ice Blast, Chemical Blast, and Sonic Blast. We circled around each other, closing in as we launched projectiles. I drew my fire-enchanted diamond sword and swatted him with it. The fire seemed to hurt, but I wouldn't let him adapt, so I kept changing my attack. Ice Blast, Fire Slash, Laser Blast! The fight was tense and close, but with all my different weapons and my dedication to rid the world of Skibidi Toilets, I managed to flush G-Man for good!
Ah, Skibidi, no!
On day 100, I basked in the glow of my victory, no, of our victory, as I returned to base and celebrated with Mandy and Swamp Pig.
Hooray! Zozo is our hero. The Skibidi Toilets are gone for good.
This was an achievement that would go down in the history books, because together, with all of our crafts and innovations, we did something that nobody else had done. Defeat the G-Man Skibidi Toilet and save the world from Skibidi domination. On day 1, I rose out of the ground as a baby warden Skibidi Toilet. Whoa, this is one of the weirdest creatures I've ever been. Still, 6 hearts. I better play it safe. Suddenly, a gorilla came rumbling towards me across the plains.
Invader, you're not meant to be here.
That didn't sound like a welcome wagon, so I turned my porcelain tail and ran off at massive speeds. That just rang the alarm bell though. More gorillas came charging in, forming a dangerous chase party. I climbed further up the plateau, managing to lose the gorillas. But the chase exhausted me. I really spawned into the wrong area here. What's going on out here? I feel like there's something I'm forgetting, but I can't remember what I forgot. Boom! The ground next to me exploded, and an even bigger, stronger gorilla crawled out of the hole.
Freeze right there. You move one step and I'll destroy you. Wanna live? Follow me, or else.
On day 2, the big gorilla led me across the plateau. Whatever you think I did, I didn't do it, I swear. I'm a completely innocent warden Skibidi Toilet.
Look, kid, I don't trust wardens, and I don't trust whatever a Skibidi Toilet is. Want this to go smoothly? All you've got to do is literally everything I say.
Well, I guess that's a pretty compelling argument. He took me to some kind of outpost near the top of the plateau. Leading me through the complex, they eventually threw me into a dark, dingy cell in the back.
You better behave, toilet boy, or you're gonna get yourself flushed.
Lucky for me, I wasn't alone in the cell. There was a squat little Mungus waiting in there for me. Hey, Mungus, I'm Zozo. What are you in here for?
Somebody accused me of being an imposter, even though I'm not. It's a unique form of discrimination that we Munguses have to deal with.
Oh, that's horrible. A similar thing happened to me. I don't even really know why I'm here.
You're certainly not gonna find your memories here in some goofy gorilla prison. We've gotta get out of here. Do Skibidi Toilets have any special powers?
I don't know, but wardens sure do. That's when I remembered how to warden tree and use it to bust on the wall of our cell. Mungus and I escaped, running off in different directions into the night. Now I can start working on getting my memories back and finding out why I'm really here. On day 3, I continued wandering through the plateau, trying my best to avoid any angry gorillas who wouldn't be happy that I'd escaped. In the epic battle of gorilla versus toilet, I personally wouldn't bet on the toilet. But rather than a gorilla, I instead encountered some cows, which made me realize I'm soon gonna get hungry. Using my high-precision warden shrieks, I blasted one of the cows, then swooped in to take my fill of the delicious beef. Okay, that's something I know about myself now. I enjoy tasty meat, just have to cook it first. I heard a rattling behind me and turned. There was a gang of skeletons coming towards me. Oh no, skeletons don't have any meat on them at all. I'm doomed. With my warden shriek still recharging, I was defenseless and outnumbered. But before the skeletons could get me, a huge lightning bolt came down and destroyed them all. Oh my gosh, what just happened? That's when I turned and saw him. The glorious sight of a tall man with a TV set for a head. He'd fired the lightning bolt and saved my life.
Come with me if you want to not die.
From day 4 to day 5, I followed the TV man into the shattered glaciers, a freezing and treacherous biome. Man, anyone who lives here must be one tough cookie. I can feel my bones rattling inside my toilet. We arrived at an equally cool pad where the TV man must have lived. It was easily one of the hippest homes I'd ever seen. Thank you again for saving my life, TV man. I'm Zozo. What can I possibly do to repay you?
The name's Ray, Cathode Ray. And it's no biggie. I save people all the time. I'm a hero. It's kind of my thing.
That's awesome, Ray. Could I be a hero just like you? I don't know what exactly I am, so maybe a hero would be a cool thing to become.
I've got it pretty covered, little toilet. But maybe, with some training, you could have some potential.
Training, yes! I could move in with you and…
With me? No, little fella. Cathode Ray rolls alone. Here, take these and go make yourself a place. We'll talk in a couple days.
Cathode Ray, the TV man, gave me my first set of stone tools and a stone sword. I left his base and ventured further up the treacherous shattered glaciers. When I found some solid ground on top of a mountain, I was curious to find warped trees here as well. This must be a sign. They look blue just like me. This is it. This is the location for my base. I mined enough material to start building myself a pretty basic house with 1 bedroom and a furnace so I could finally cook these steaks. Nothing is better than a warm piece of steak. This place isn't much, but it's mine.
Not for long, you stinky toilet!
I turned and saw that one of the gorilla guards had somehow followed me here. He wasn't interested in conversation. He wanted to fight, and I needed to defend myself. When he ran in, I blasted him with my warden shriek, then finished him off with my stone sword skills. That gave me enough XP to level up, becoming a bigger, more combat-effective warden toilet with 14 hearts and an inbuilt fireball cannon. Oh yeah! Now I'm looking fire! From day 6 to day 8, I was heading back to tell Cathode Ray about the new power I'd gained, but in the process, I ran into my old prison buddy, Mungus. Hey, Mungus, how have things been swinging for you? I didn't expect to see you out here.
Been better, man. Everywhere I go, people keep thinking I'm an imposter. It's really starting to affect my self-esteem.
That's terrible, Mungus. I wonder why people around here are so distrusting. I continued on to Cathode Ray and asked him the same question.
It doesn't surprise me to hear that, Zozo. You know, there are a lot of folks out here who really can't be trusted. It's why my work as a hero is so incredibly valuable.
How can I start doing valuable hero work, Ray? I can shoot fireballs now, and I want to prove myself.
If you go to the Stony Peaks, you'll find a deadly yak who's been causing a lot of trouble for the locals. Who may be perfectly suited to this job. Send a warden toilet to defeat a warden toilet, I always say.
Of course, Ray. Thank you for this opportunity. I won't let you down. With my new mission, I set off across the glaciers towards the Stony Peaks. From day 9 to day 10, I first made my way out to the Stony Peaks. It was a terrain so harsh and unforgiving, it made the shattered glaciers seem downright cozy. I was constantly paranoid that with one wrong move, I'd fall over and get injured, or worse. But after carefully navigating the difficult slopes of the Stony Peaks, I saw the monstrous yak in the distance. I drew my sword and carefully approached. Time for a surprise attack. I shot a fireball at the vicious yak. It turned, ready to attack.
Traitor! perish for your treachery!
I fought the creature with my sword, but it was really strong, knocking a bunch of hearts off of me. In the end, I shot another fireball at the monster, and it blew him off the edge of the cliff. He was gone, but it left me badly injured in the process. Oh no, I don't think I'm gonna make it out of here. But a friend of mine was about to come in clutch. That's right, Mungus had found me.
Zozo, I heard someone was in trouble. I never knew it'd be you. Here, take this healing potion and some steaks. You look like you need it.
I truly did. I took the potion and was healed. Thank you, Mungus. I really appreciate that. What are you doing out here?
Something's going on, Zozo, something big. Wanna come with me to help look into it all?
I would, but first, I need to go tell my mentor about my victory here today. I'm on the up and up. From day 11 to day 12, I returned to Cathode Ray, excited to tell him about my victory against the diabolical Warden Toilet Spider.
Well done, little toilet dude. You've proven that you've got the makings of a hero in you.
Thank you, Ray. It's an honor to hear that from you.
For your next step on the road to heroism, I have another challenge for you. Even deeper in the dark shadows of the Stony Peaks, I need you to find and destroy the Hell Rat. It's every bit as frightening as the name suggests.
Sheesh, that sounds pretty scary.
That it is, my friend. That it is. I recommend you upgrade your armor and weaponry. Good heroes don't take chances.
Good advice, Ray. I scoured the shattered glacier until I found a deep mining cavern. I searched inside, getting deeper and deeper into the dark until I found a dusty old crate. Inside was exactly what I needed. Some pieces of iron armor, an iron sword, and an iron pickaxe. The miners must have left this behind when the place was abandoned. I didn't get to keep my new gear pristine for long because soon enough, the mine was crawling with gorilla guards.
You never should have come here.
But I wasn't as weak as I used to be. I held my own against the gorillas until they were forced to retreat. Nobody defeats a hero. From day 13 to day 15, I returned to the Stony Peaks with my new iron weapons and armor plating, ready to take on the terrifying Hell Rat. I searched high and low for the Hell Rat's nest, terrified that at any moment it might pop out and destroy me, just like Cathode Ray had told me. But when I eventually found a cute little hut, and inside, I was astonished to find the Hell Rat. But it didn't seem threatening or scary at all. It seems like a pretty innocent, if slightly strange-looking, rat. Hey, you don't seem particularly hellish. Why do they call you the Hell Rat?
Oh, it's because I come from Hell, the unincorporated community in Livingston County, Michigan.
Oh, I suppose that does answer a lot, but not why Cathode Ray sent me here. Sorry for bothering you, Mr. Rat. I could smell a rat, and it wasn't the Hell Rat. I needed to make my way back to the shattered glaciers with no time to waste. From day 16 to day 19, I returned to the cold, lonely world of the shattered glacier. Cathode Ray has some serious questions to answer. Sending me to hassle innocent rats from Michigan doesn't seem like something a hero would do. But when I arrived at Ray's pad, it was empty, not a soul in sight, until I heard footsteps behind me. I panicked and turned around, only to see Mungus standing right behind me. Mungus, what are you doing here?
I was just about to ask you the same thing. I've been tracking the imposter who's been causing trouble across the server, and whom everyone keeps blaming me for. All signs point to here.
Here? That's impossible, but oh no, the Hell Rat, he's in danger! Before Mungus could ask any follow-up questions, I hightailed it out of the shattered glacier and made my way back to the Stony Peaks. When I arrived, I searched desperately for the place where I'd found the Hell Rat, but by the time I did, it was too late. Just Cathode Ray standing in an empty crater. Ray, what have you done?
What you were too weak to do, apparently. You can't even stomp some silly rat.
Why would I want to? He was innocent.
Innocent is just a point of view. Who's innocent, really? I'm sure he did something at some point that made him deserve getting vaporized by me.
If that's how you think, then you're not a hero at all.
I am a hero, Zozo, and if you're against me, that can only mean you're a villain. Let me show you what I do to villains.
Cathode Ray summoned up a huge lightning bolt, and before I could do anything, he fired it at me, and everything went black. From day 20 to day 22, I finally woke up, my damaged toilet body lying among the broken stone of the peaks around me. Somehow, I'd survived. Why didn't Cathode Ray completely destroy me?
Because I stopped him.
I turned and saw my old prison friend, Mungus, walking towards me.
What? You're the first person who believed in me. You think I'd let that TV-headed creep destroy you? No way.
I can't believe he used me like that. I thought he was a hero. I thought I was a hero.
You still can be, Zozo. Let's go back to your base. Together, I think we can defeat this guy and show the world who he really is.
You're right, Mungus. It's the only way. We went back to my base, and we tore down the old base so we had enough space for the new build. I mined up enough raw materials to construct a new building with a room for Mungus to stay in, complete with a bed and couch. You can't really tell what this place will be, so make sure to watch a bit longer to find out as I will finish the base. From day 23 to day 26, I returned to the Savannah Plateau, wanting to see everything with a fresh perspective. Everything with cathode ray has got me reconsidering my whole life. But I didn't have time to brood. I saw an undead ostrich getting chased around by a terrifying dark manicore. This looks like a situation where I can prove myself as a real hero. I stormed in, blasting fireballs and warning shrieks at the dark manicore while the undead ostrich was out of the picture. It didn't take long for the manicore to relent, and I finished it off with my iron sword. Afterwards, the undead ostrich came out of hiding and approached me.
You saved my life! That was so heroic!
Thank you. I'm trying my best, despite not having a great teacher.
Your best saved me, so in exchange, here, take some of my power and ascend to greater heights!
The ostrich fired an energy blast at me, and I felt myself getting bigger and stronger. Soon enough, I had 26 hearts and a new ability, Smash! I tested it out, smashing a huge crazy crater into the ground. Okay, this will be useful later. From day 27 to day 31, while heading back across the Savannah Plateau towards the Shattered Glacier, I encountered a group of chickens. Even a Warden Skibidi Toilet enjoys some nice fried chicken. I lured the chickens back into the Shattered Glacier and decided I needed to build a pen for them. Before I could do that, I decided to finish up the rest of the base, so I can put them in just the right spot. I poured my heart and soul into it. I just hope no one flushes it down. Can't deny the resemblance is uncanny. If you think it looks good, make sure to subscribe so you can see my other amazing builds. As I was taking in the views, the Mungus approached me.
Great work, Zozo. Some chicken is exactly what we need. Also, speaking of food, I took the liberty of making us a pantry. We can store excess chicken there.
I looked and saw the well-stocked pantry and fully equipped kitchen that Mungus had created. Good job to you too, Mungus. This base is coming along nicely now. Meanwhile, back in Cathode Ray's icy chill pad of evil, he was consulting with his most powerful henchman, the Speakerhead.
So you see, Speakerhead, this Zozo needs to be destroyed for the greater good. We can't have a good world with that Skibidi Warden menace in it.
Of course, Mr. Ray. Everybody wants to rule the world, but you're the only one who I trust to see it through.
Then go out there and do what needs to be done. He's the only thing standing in the way of our plans.
From day 32 to day 35, I returned once again to the Savannah Plateau. More specifically, I returned to the gorilla base where I'd first been imprisoned. If I thought these guys were evil while I thought Cathode Ray was good, then maybe I had the wrong idea all along. When I arrived at the gorilla base, the huge gorilla who'd first captured me appeared to stand guard.
You've got some nerve coming back here, Toilet. After everything you've done, I ought to destroy you right now.
Wait, I was misled, and I think you were misled too. I'm on your side. Let me speak to the boss gorilla.
The boss gorilla isn't actually a gorilla. Come with me. If you try anything funny, I'll hammer you into the ground like a tent peg.
The big gorilla directed me inside. I followed his instructions down the hallway until I saw the strangest thing, a floating redstone cube. My goodness, who are you?
Me? I am the Cube of Wisdom, the source of all good and righteous knowledge. And if you had spoken to me earlier, I could have told you that Cathode Ray, the TV man, was nothing but a sham.
Yes, I'm sorry. I know that now. He's a villain who believes he's a hero, but I want to be a real hero. Together, between me, my friend Mungus, and you and your gorilla forces, we can take down this monster.
That's the wisest thing you've said all day, Zozo.
From day 36 to day 39, knowing the danger of the threats against me, I searched the Shattered Glacier yet again until I found another abandoned cave. I searched deep within until I found some more abandoned pieces of iron armor, which I quickly equipped. Using my smash power to bust through the stone further, I found a small vein of diamonds, which I mined with my iron pickaxe. Not enough to make anything yet, but these will come in real handy when I find more of them. I returned to my base with my spoils, where Mungus was waiting for me with good news.
Zozo, I crafted some weapons for you while you were gone. Javelins. They should be super effective.
Oh, that's awesome, Mungus. This will make me an even more formidable opponent at long range. I left the edge of my base to practice my throwing skills with my new selection of javelins, when suddenly a gibbon approached.
Be not afraid.
don't worry, I wasn't.
Oh, okay, let's see, what was the message? I'm an envoy from the Primate Kingdom. My master, the Cube, wishes to speak to you at a secure location in the Twilight Valley. You must journey there at once.
It sounded like there was no time to delay. I turned tail and made my way in the direction of the Twilight Valley. From day 40 to day 43, I arrived in the spooky and mysterious Twilight Valley. Following the instructions given to me by the Gibbon, I found a small shack where the Redstone Cube of Wisdom was waiting for me. What's up, Mr. Cube? Why so cloak and dagger? Is everything okay?
There's an urgent matter that must be attended to, Zozo. My spies in Cathode Ray's inner circle tell me that he's dispatched one of his most dangerous agents, Speakerhead.
What's so dangerous about him?
He's a highly skilled and lethal warrior. He's absolutely loyal to Cathode Ray and his cause, and he absolutely hates Skibidi Toilets. I must leave now, Zozo, but stay safe. You are in grave danger.
The Redstone Cube teleported away, leaving me alone in the Twilight Valley. Or so I thought. The shack exploded, and the Speakerhead was standing there, wielding a huge sword.
There you are. Time to meet your doom, Toilet. All for freedom and for pleasure.
Without delay, I started firing my Warden shrieks and fireballs at him, but there was no effect. He ran at me with his sword and devastated me with one strike. All I could do was turn and run for my life.
I'll get you, Zozo. Nothing ever lasts forever.
From day 44 to day 49, I was resting and recovering at my base from my encounter with Speakerhead. I was lucky to get out of there alive. Speakerhead wasn't planning on taking prisoners. He was every bit as terrifying as the Redstone Cube suggested, so it made sense that the Redstone Cube would appear next to me in my time of need. You weren't kidding, Cube. That Speakerhead guy is a real demon.
Be that as it may, I believe I have a solution for you, Zozo. A weapon that may be capable of destroying that diabolical false hero once and for all.
I'm all ears.
A blowgun, an ancient tribal weapon wielded by a great warrior. It's said to have special powers when used by a true hero in the name of justice.
Sounds perfect. Where can I get it?
I'm not sure yet. You will need to seek out the information. Return to the Stony Peaks and seek out other wise creatures. They will give you the knowledge that you seek.
From day 50 to day 53, I had fully recovered from the stress of my battle with Speakerhead. I ventured out into the Stony Peaks, wanting to find the wise creatures that the Redstone Cube had spoken of. I'm lucky I don't have any legs, or they'd be getting really tired right about now. When I'd reached the highest peaks of the Stony, peaks, I found a wise old spider pig waiting for me.
Welcome, my son. I am the great spider pig who sits at the center of the cosmic web of knowledge. I can answer but one question of every person. What is your question, Warden Toilet?
I seek the power to defeat evil. Where can I find the legendary ancient blowgun?
It will not be easy, my boy. The blowgun lies in the Chamber of Destiny, deep inside the Cynthian Torrids. It is guarded by a terrible beast. You will need to be incredibly strong to fight it.
A terrible beast. Great. For a second there, I was worried this whole thing would be too easy. From day 54 to day 57, I returned to the Savannah Plateau, hoping to share everything I'd learned with the Redstone Cube. But on the way, I was intercepted by a familiar and terrifying foe, Speakerhead.
Well, if it isn't my least favorite Warden Toilet, Zozo.
Speakerhead, what are you doing here?
I've been listening to you all the way since the Spider Pig. My master wants me to collect intelligence on you and everything you're doing. But I won't even need that information if I destroy you right here.
I threw some javelins at him and tried to hit him with my fireballs, but he was too strong.
My turn.
He pulled out a destroyer and with one whack, blasted a huge crater in the earth. I was lucky to have escaped with my life. Meanwhile, back at his base in the Shattered Glacier, Cathode Ray was receiving the information that Speakerhead had stolen.
The Scythian Torrids. Interesting. Then it means the blowgun must be guarded by the High Reaver. Perhaps I'll let Zozo deal with that one. He could always use the practice.
From day 58 to day 62, I was at my base, having at least survived a second encounter with the Speakerhead. I need some kind of advantage. I can't afford to let him get the jump on me again. I might not be so lucky. I was pulled out of my pessimistic thoughts by Mungus, who strolled over to me with obvious excitement.
Zozo, I've been working hard building things while you were gone. I added in a little yard, a bathroom, and a new crafting area, complete with a furnace.
Oh, that's genius, Mungus. Just the thing I needed. If I want some new gear, I'm gonna need to forge it myself. With this in mind, I went back to the same mining cavern I'd visited before and dug even deeper into the darkness, using my smash power to go deeper a lot faster than I would with just a pickaxe. Eventually, I found an even richer vein of diamonds and harvested as many as I possibly could. Then, I took them back to the base and put Mungus's crafting room to good use. I forged myself a diamond sword, a diamond pickaxe, and a few pieces of diamond armor. Now I'm a force to be reckoned with! From day 63 to day 66, I heard a great crackling outside my base, like something of immense power had arrived. I walked outside the base and saw the redstone cube of wisdom waiting for me on my decorative toilet.
Zozo, it is time. We must travel together to the edge of the shattered glacier. There we can find the portal to the Scythian Torrents, where the sacred blowgun awaits the arrival of its prophesied user. That, Zozo, is you.
Then we have no time to waste. Lead the way! I followed the floating cube across the shattered glacier until eventually we reached the impressive-looking portal stand.
Something is wrong, Zozo. The portal, it isn't active.
Then what do we do?
Keep searching. There must be some kind of key. Someone out there has it. We just need you to get our hands on it. Well, we don't have hands, but you get the idea.
From day 67 to day 70, while waiting and planning my next steps on the toilet, I was visited by someone I hadn't had the best relationship with, the big gorilla.
Zozo, you know I wouldn't come to you if I wasn't desperate, but some unknown force has been fighting my men in the Twilight Valley while we try to search for the key to the Scythian Torrents.
And I'm guessing you want me to come in there and fight it?
Yeah, pretty much. But you better not gloat about it.
Cause I'm a nice guy, I didn't gloat. Just flushed the toilet and made a beeline for the Twilight Valley, where I saw what had been giving the gorilla so much trouble, a cosmically powerful Shiba Inu.
Be gone, intruder! You will never get your hands on the key! Leave my valley!
Wait, listen to me!
If you use this key for evil, I will—
Listen! I'm not here to do evil! I'm here to stop it! You said something about a key? Is it the key to the Scythian Torrents?
Yes, the very same.
I seek the blowgun from the Chamber of Destiny.
For what purpose do you seek it?
I wish to obtain the blowgun and use it to defeat the evil known as Cathode Ray.
That is a noble goal. The key is yours. If you misuse it, I'll destroy you myself.
Shiba Inu disappeared, leaving behind a magical-looking key, which I immediately picked up. I'm one more step closer to completing my quest. From day 71 to day 74, I was returning to my base, excited to tell Mungus about the key. But I had bigger things on my mind. Speakerhead was back, and he was destroying my base.
You're too late, Zozo. I know everything. You can't stop us now.
I can tell you're a Speakerhead even from a distance, because you're such an annoying loudmouth.
Don't get mad, Zozo. Get even. If you're brave enough, I'll be waiting near Ray's pad. Come and get some, loser.
Speakerhead laughed and disappeared. Then, Mungus came out of hiding to speak to me. How did he cause us much damage, Mungus?
He used his destroyer, an incredibly powerful weapon.
Darn, that man is such a thorn in my side.
It doesn't need to be all bad, Zozo. Maybe if you go and destroy Speakerhead, you'll get his destroyer. Then you can use it in the Scythian Torrents to get the blowgun.
That's a great idea, Mungus. But are you sure you'll be okay here alone?
I can handle myself, Zozo. I'll rebuild the base while you're gone.
Then it looks like we've got a plan. Little did I know, all of this was part of Cathode Ray's grand plan.
Once he's dispatched dear Speakerhead, he'll be strong enough to enter the Scythian Torrents. Then, the blowgun will be mine, and nothing will be able to stop me.
From day 75 to day 78, I was preparing for the battle with Speakerhead when the redstone cube of wisdom came to impart some of his trademark wisdom.
Fight hard out there, Zozo. We're all counting on you.
Thanks, redstone cube. Is that it? And then he left. From day 79 to day 84, I wasted no time in charging to the dark depths of the shattered glacier. Speakerhead, you will face me in single combat. That was clearly enough to summon him, because Speakerhead immediately appeared. It was almost too perfect.
Ready to be destroyed, Zozo? Well, clearly you are, since you're here.
Please stop talking. I'd rather just fight. I charged at Speakerhead, wielding my diamond sword. Even with the aid of my powers, I was so hopelessly outmatched.
Face it, Zozo, you're doomed. You can't beat me.
That's when I suddenly felt a surge of energy coming up from the key the Shiba Inu gave me. The power to fight against evil. I evolved into a Warden Spider Skibidi Toilet. I was bigger, stronger, and suddenly had 100 hearts and the ability to shoot lasers. Speakerhead was so shocked.
What? No, you can't do that.
Seems like I can. Bye-bye, Speakerhead. With a supercharged blast of my laser attack, Speakerhead was destroyed once and for all. In his place was the Destroyer, which I picked up immediately. Just you and me now, Ray. From day 85 to day 89, I returned to the base with the Destroyer and the key. And with 100 hearts, I was finally ready to go to the Synthian Torrents. I'm ready to do this, Mungus.
So glad, Zozo. And look, I repaired the base.
I turned and saw that Mungus was true to his words. The base had been rebuilt. Everything was coming up roses. The one thing left to do is go claim the blowgun. Then we can defeat Cathode Ray and end all this horror. My heart filled with determination, I made my way towards the portal standing deep in the shattered glaciers and used my key to open it. Synthian Torrents, here I come. I immediately felt the dark, dry heat of the torrents on the other side. It was a sinister place, filled with molten lava and strange unknown creatures. After hours of wandering, I found a large, distinct structure that must have been the Chamber of Destiny. There's the chamber. Let's go see the beast. I walked into the chamber, which was deceptively quiet at first, until a huge, terrifying High Reaver leaped out. Oh, there's the beast! It took everything to be able to defeat the High Reaver. The blade of my diamond sword, my fireballs, my javelins, my laser eyes, and of course, the Destroyer. It was a hard battle, and I lost plenty of hearts. But in the end, the High Reaver was defeated, and the blowgun was left on the ground. Cathode Ray, you've got a big storm coming. From day 90 to day 94, I left the Chamber of Destiny with the blowgun in hand. With this, I'd finally be able to destroy Cathode Ray once and for all. But before I could find my way to the portal, I was hit by a lightning that completely paralyzed me from the neck down. The blowgun fell out onto the floor. Oh no, who could have done this? Unsurprisingly, Cathode Ray emerged from the darkness. He had total power over me.
So, it has come to this. You know, Zozo, we could have worked well together. Imagine the heroics we would have accomplished together.
You've never done anything heroic in your life, Ray. You're just a villain who's lying to himself.
You're going to regret this, Zozo. If you're not with me, then you're my enemy. I'd destroy you right now, but I want you to live long enough to see my revenge play out in full.
While I couldn't move, he built a stone cage around me, trapping me within. By the time I could move again, Cathode Ray was long gone. From day 95 to day 97, I tried different methods to bust down the walls of the prison that Cathode Ray had built around me. Out of all the power-ups, only the Destroyer worked. But there was no time to waste. I needed to get back to the Savannah Plateau immediately and warn the Redstone Cube of Wisdom. When I was back in the overworld, I ran as fast as I could until I reached the plateau. But I wasn't fast enough. The Gorilla Outpost base had been left in ruins, and all the gorillas were gone. All that was left was the heavily injured Redstone Cube of Wisdom.
Zozo, Cathode Ray went on a cathode rampage. He's cleaning house, trying to destroy everyone he can.
Oh no, this is all my fault. I gave him the blowgun. He'll be invincible.
He has one weakness, Zozo. Because he has a TV for a head, he doesn't have a mouth, so he can't actually use the blowgun. Get it back, Zozo, and use it to bring Ray's reign of terror to an end!
The Redstone Cube passed away, leaving me alone on the cold and dusty plateau. On day 98, I made a beeline back to my base. I needed to warn Mungus so he didn't end up like the gorillas or the Redstone Cube of Wisdom. When I saw the state of my base, I feared I was too late. Everything Mungus and I had worked on was destroyed. Cathode Ray had almost annihilated the base. Oh no, did he destroy Mungus just like he destroyed the Redstone Cube? To my immense relief, Mungus emerged from the rubble.
Please, I'm a lot harder to destroy than that.
Mungus, you're alive!
Cathode Ray was so focused on angrily destroying our base that he didn't even notice me.
That's one small relief, but Cathode Ray still has the blowgun. I can't defeat him without it.
Don't worry, Zozo. I have a plan. Let's go to Ray's pad together. I've got my own score to settle. You distract him, I'll steal back the blowgun. Then you can finish him off once and for all.
Sounds like a plan to me, Mungus. On day 99, Mungus and I ventured deep into the Shattered Glacier to execute our cunning plan. We arrived outside Cathode Ray's pad and shared some final encouraging words. You can do this, Mungus. I'll keep his attention on me.
See you on the other side, buddy.
Mungus snuck into the base. When he was gone, I shot my fireballs at Cathode Ray's base. He immediately stormed outside.
Revenge, then? I figured you'd come out here after you saw what I did to your base and your worthless friends. At least now I can finish you, once and for all.
Yeah, you can do that, Ray, but you'll need to catch me first. I ran as fast as I could as Cathode Ray chased me, shooting lightning after me. I ran until I'd lost him, then made a beeline back to the base. I met Mungus outside Ray's pad. He gave me the blowgun.
Finish this, Zozo.
And with that, he fled into the forest, leaving me alone at Ray's pad. On day 100, I used my fireballs and laser beams to wreak destruction on Cathode Ray's base. I blew up walls and annihilated rooms, and with the destroyer, I smashed a huge crater into the ground. And using my own smash ability, I annihilated everything I could, sending his whole kingdom crashing down around me. I'm gonna do what you did to me, and to the redstone cube and all those gorillas. I'll leave you with nothing. All the noise attracted Cathode Ray himself, who stormed in, ready to fight, wielding a massive sword.
You worthless little bidet. My perfect pad. How could you ruin it like this? I am a hero.
How many times do I need to tell you? There's nothing heroic about you. You're just a big, cruel bully who wants people to like him.
And it's clear you're not gonna like me, so I may as well destroy you, you villain.
The battle began. Cathode Ray was strong, but now I was ready to face him. I threw in javelins and blasted fireballs. I hit him with laser beams and warden shrieks, and even whacked him with the destroyer.
No, this is impossible.
For the finishing blow, I pulled out my blowgun, channeling all the power of the redstone cube. With one blast, the scourge of Cathode Ray was finally destroyed. The only hero here is me. On day 1, I spawned in the Sika Woods as an ICE Spiderman. This is awesome. I didn't think the world's greatest web slinger could get any cooler, but hey, here I am. Things weren't all peachy though. For starters, I only had 10 hearts. And for seconds, a giant buff pigless came barging through the trees towards me.
Spider-Man, I found you.
Wait, what? I don't understand.
Don't play dumb with me, Spider-Man. I'm Pigless Polly, the biggest, meanest, smartest, and also most beautiful pigless in all the land. And you've been trying to mess with my plans for years. Don't think that turning your suit blue would confuse me. I'm a genius.
But I'm just Zozo playing Spider-Man. There's been some kind of mistake.
You will confound me not, puny spider. You better run, or my bubble brawler boys will beat you into a spidery pulp.
I could tell when I wasn't wanted, and this was one of those times. I turned and ran as quickly as I could. What did she mean about her bubble brawler boys? But life soon answered my question. A gang of bubble monsters emerged from the trees and started chasing me. Oh, there they are! Using my enhanced spider speed, I was able to escape and find a hiding place for the night. Always great to spawn into a world where someone already has a grudge against me. I need to figure this out before it's too late. On day 2, when I got the sense that the coast was cleared, I spider climbed out of my hiding spot and started to explore the woods a little more casually. This place is actually pretty beautiful. Maybe I should work on building a home around here. That's when one of the bubble monsters jumped out in front of me.
Oh, I'll build you a home, Spidey. 6 feet under. You've got a lot of nerve showing your face around here. Lady Polly wants us to destroy you on sight.
I still don't know what I did to upset your beast of a boss, but if you think this icy superhero won't be fighting back, you've just made your last mistake. We battled hand to hand. What the bubble monster didn't know was I had super spider strength, so my hits really packed a punch. After a few well-aimed strikes, I burst his bubble and moved on. Wow, beating that guy up really worked up an appetite. I need to find myself some nosh. Lucky for me, there were plenty of trees around. I collected the yummy pears from the leaves. Tasty! I knocked down the rest of the pear tree with my spider fists. With the spare wood, I made myself a wooden pickaxe. Then, I dug into the ground and collected enough stone to assemble a stone pickaxe, stone axe, and a stone sword. I've got that caveman swag now. With my new stone axe, I gathered more wood and built myself a little spider base with a room for me to spend the night indoors. Nice and cozy. Things are gonna get better and better. On day 3, I left my base and went out to explore the Jacaranda forest. It was a gorgeous sight to see. Even if there aren't any useful resources around here, it's worth it for the view. But just because the view was breathtaking didn't mean that everyone who lived there was chill. Case in point, a big angry mutated bee ran over to me.
What do you think you're doing here?
I'm walking here?
Are you making fun of me?
No, I don't even know who you are.
The name's Benson, Barry B. Benson, and I was just a normal bee until my human wife left me and I got turned into the superpowered mutant abomination.
I don't see how that's my problem.
Well, I gotta take it out on somebody, don't I?
Barry B. Benson attacked me with furious intensity, and even with my spider strength, I couldn't defeat his divorced mutant rage. Instead, I ran away as he fumed loudly in the background. He sounded like he should chill out or maybe get into jazz. On my way out of the Jacaranda forest, I ran into a sad-looking spider. Seeing as I myself was also a spider, I decided to go over and ask her if she was okay. Hey, I'm Zozo. Who are you? Is everything okay?
I'm Spider Queen, and sadly, things aren't okay.
Oh wow, Spider Queen? Does that mean you're the queen of all spiders?
No, I'm actually a One Spider tribute act to the band Queen. They're my favorite. But Pigless hates Queen, and she won't let me perform anymore.
That's horrible. Why not come back to my base? You can work on your act there.
That's amazing, Zozo. I want it all.
From day 4 to day 5, I returned to my little base in the Sika Woods with Spider Queen at my side. It's not much, but it's home.
It looks amazing to me, Zozo. Musicians don't make much money, and I'm super impressed by this. Do you want me to sleep on the floor?
What? No way! I'm gonna build you your own room. So that's exactly what I did. I gathered up enough wood to make Spider Queen her own special room where she could jam out all she liked.
Oh, Zozo, you're the best. I couldn't be happier.
Take a second to hide in there. I think I can hear another bubble monster coming towards us. Spider Queen hid away inside the room I'd made for her as I went out to battle the bubble monster.
Piglet sends her regards. We're gonna destroy you for her, one way or another, or she's gonna do it herself.
She's gonna need to destroy me herself, because there's no way you're up to the task, Bubble Boy. With my new stone sword, the bubble monster didn't stand a chance. He was soon defeated, and I returned to Spider Queen. It's okay, the bubble monster is gone now. You're safe.
We are the champions! Yay! Thank you for saving us, Zozo. Here, have one of my guitars. It plays music while you fight with it.
Spider Queen gave me the guitar, and I immediately equipped it. Whoa, this is cool as heck.
Oh yeah, we will rock you.
On day 6, I started the day with the wholesome act of sheep gathering, just in case I need the wool for a new Spidey suit. I wandered into the woods, and after a long time, emerged from them, seeing a road. Whoa, where am I? I followed the road and soon found myself in a cul-de-sac with some really cool and colorful houses nearby. Is that a flying orange? At the base of the flying orange, I saw some sheep wandering around, just what I was looking for. I started to round up the sheep when an orange boy came bounding out of the orange at me.
Get away from my sheep, you costume creep!
Whoa, hang on a second. I didn't want to hurt him, but he wouldn't listen to me.
Richie, what are you doing? Leave that guy alone.
Yeah, Richie, he didn't know those were your sheep.
Richie stopped chasing me as 3 more characters, one of which looked like a bear, came running over to me.
Max, do you know who this guy is? It looks like he might be dangerous.
Relax, Beast. I'm sure he's fine. Whoa, that suit is awesome. Did you invent that? I'm something of a scientist myself.
You guys are being so rude. What's your name? I'm Sky, this is Beast, Max, and Richie.
I'm Zozo, and yeah, this is my Spidey suit. One of the icy variety anyway. What are you guys doing out here? But before they could answer, I saw the last person I wanted to see. It was Pigless. She had found me, and she was wielding a huge, terrifying mace.
Like my new hardware, Spider-Man? This mace is one of the most powerful weapons out there. Perfect for squishing a nasty little bug like you.
Whoa, who is the little piggy?
Max, don't provoke her. Can't you see what she's holding?
Hey, who do you think you are talking to our new friend like that?
Oh, glad to know there's no hard feelings about the sheep. This is Pigless Polly. She kinda wants to destroy me.
Enough jibber-jabber! I'll squash all of you then!
Yeah, we'd like to see you try.
We're not scared of you.
Max threw down a mysterious item on the ground, and a bunch of armor appeared out of it. His friends suddenly put on armor that matched their colors, along with some matching swords.
Fine! No need to ruin a perfectly good neighborhood. But mark my words, Spidey, I'll find you again, and I'll be stronger than ever!
Pigless Polly turned and ran, leaving me alone with Max and his friends. Whoa, guys, thanks for the help. I could use you guys back at my base.
That sounds really fun, but I don't think we can make it. To answer your question from before about what we're doing here, I'm a YouTuber, and I document all the crazy adventures my friends and I go on.
Yeah, if you've got some days to spare, you should hang out with us.
You know, I could actually use a couple days to lay low after that encounter. Let's do it! From day 7 to day 8, well, actually, you'll just have to click the link in the description to watch what I did on days 7 and 8 with Max and his friends. Our adventure is just in English though, but it was super fun. And if you watch, be sure to leave a comment on his video to let him know I sent you. From day 9 to day 10, I was on my way back to my base with some sheep as a gift from Richie. When I arrived, Spider Queen came running over to talk to me.
I've been building, Zozo. Come, check it out.
She'd been building a lot, in fact. One of the first things I'd seen was the statue she'd been working on to inspire me. I couldn't tell what it was yet, but I was very excited to find out. Do you have any ideas? Let me know down in the comments. And the statue wasn't all. She'd also been working on some new buildings and upgrades for the base itself, including a storage room for all of our gear, a training room for practicing our skills, and a furnace for smelting ore into ingots. I'm so glad to have you here, Spider Queen.
And I'm grateful to have you here as a friend. You're the best friend I've ever had, Zozo.
Last thing I did for the day was set up a basic sheep pen and went to bed. From day 11 to day 12, Spider Queen and I relaxed while she practiced her music. I've been wondering, why do you think Pigless Polly believes I'm her Spider-Man? How can there even be more than one Spider-Man?
I've got a theory about that, actually. I think when you spawned, it created a dimensional rift that sent this universe's Spider-Man into your native dimension while bringing you here, like a big cross-dimensional swap.
Whoa, that's wild! How can you know all this when you're just a one-spider tribute band? No offense, of course.
I actually have a degree in trans-dimensional physics. It's more of a hobby thing, really. Being a Queen tribute act is my real ambition.
From day 13 to day 15, I returned to the beautiful Jacaranda Forest with a plan in mind. Defeat that dastardly Barry B. Benson, the mutated bee. He's gotta be around here somewhere. I mean, he's so aggro, I imagine he'll come looking for me. And I was right. After a little more searching, Barry the mutated bee ran in and prepared to attack me.
There you are! You've been due for a good thrashing, Zozo! And I still haven't forgiven you for your trespasses against me earlier!
I still don't fully understand what I did, but if we've gotta fight, let's just get it over with and fight!
Finally, you're making some sense!
And so, our battle began! I battered him with my guitar until he submitted, but I decided against finishing him off because honestly, I felt sorry for him. Go talk to your ex-wife, Barry. You clearly have some pent-up anger issues, and you're not gonna solve them by beating up random strangers.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry for all the trouble, Zozo.
And with that, he left. But my act of kindness and mercy gave me some XP to level up, getting 30 hearts, getting bigger and stronger, and getting a web shooter, which I could use to shoot webs. About time. I wonder. Whoa! I can also ride the webs as they fly through the air. Awesome! At long last, some real Spider-Man powers. This is great! From day 16 to day 19, I decided that I couldn't battle every baddie with just a guitar, so I went down into the nearest mining cavern to find some iron ore. Spider-Man wants his hands on some iron, man. And my catchy theme song worked, because I did manage to find a vein of iron ore and immediately started mining it. This seems like about enough to make the tools I want. Time to head back to my base. But on the way out of the mining cave, I saw a dangerous zombie spoiner standing in my way. But wait, this is a perfect opportunity to try out my new web shooter. I started throwing down cobwebs, trapping the zombie spoiner in place and slowing him down to a crawl. With him lodged in place, it was easy to finish him off with my rockin' guitar. Yeah, that power is gonna be really useful. After that, I went back to my base and smelted the ore in my furnace until I had just enough ingots to make a metal sword and a metal pickaxe, axe, and some boots. This has been an extremely successful excursion. From day 20 to day 22, I was having the most amazing dream when I was suddenly woken up by Spider Queen standing anxiously next to my bed.
Zozo, I'm sorry to wake you up, but something really scary is happening.
Oh no, what's that?
I was playing Bohemian Rhapsody a little too loudly, and I think Piglet's heard me. Long story short, she's standing outside.
What?
Now I think we need to fight her.
It's too dangerous for you, Spider Queen. Stay in here. I'll go and face her alone. And that's exactly what I did. I got out of bed and ran out to battle Piglet, who was still wielding her terrifying mace.
There you are, Spider-Man. Not so tough with all your colorful friends no longer around. It's time for you to meet your doom.
I keep telling you, I'm not the Spider-Man you're looking for. I come from a different dimension. I'm the Ice Spider-Man.
Well, even if you aren't my Spider-Man, I'll still settle for getting to destroy a Spider-Man. And you'll do just fine.
If your mind's made up, then I guess we better fight. And we did, but this time I had a way better chance. I threw down some cobwebs immediately, trapping Piglet in place before pulling out my iron sword and going to town. In the end, she broke free from the cobwebs, but she seemed startled.
You're stronger than I remember. I don't have time for this. We'll battle again soon, and next time you won't be so lucky.
She fled after that, leaving me feeling stronger and more confident than ever. If I keep getting stronger, I think I can finally take her. From day 23 to day 26, I spent some time at my base, calmly collecting myself and spitting together a new addition to my spider suit. I used the wool from the sheep I got from Richie and some emu feathers that were laying on the ground to weave some outback leggings. With these, I could move faster and dodge out of the way of projectiles. Now I've really got the agility of a spider. It wouldn't be perfect. There was only about a 45% chance I'd be able to avoid oncoming attacks, but it was the edge I would need in my next battle with Piglets. And if you think this adventure is getting wild, then you should search for more videos and see more of my Minecraft challenges. Just type ZOZO into the search bar up above. From day 27 to day 31, while I was still hunkered down at the base in the secret woods, I noticed Spider Queen seemed to be struggling with her statue. What's wrong, Spider Queen?
Zozo, I just feel so under pressure. It's pushing down on me. I want to get the statue finished, but I'm missing a very key component.
Hey, it's okay. You've been doing great so far. Here, why don't I help you out? What's this component you need to add to your statue?
I just need some redstone blocks.
Say no more. I'll go and fetch some.
Thank you, Zozo.
I ventured off to track down large quantities of redstone, making my way towards the Twilight Valley. This place was a lot darker than the other areas I had visited. The shadows were the perfect cover for some bubble monsters to sneak up and ambush me.
There he is! Get him! Piglet's orders!
Hey, come on, guys. Surely there's a peaceful way around this. Piglets can't be paying you that much.
It's not always about the money, Spider-Man. It's about the Mets, baby. Let's go. Get a home run!
Jerry, quiet down. Sorry, he gets a little excited about baseball. Oh, hey, where'd he go?
Over here, Bubble Brain. I turned the shadows to my advantage and struck the bubble monsters in place with my cobweb attacks. They tried to swipe at me from the spots they were stuck to, but a few swinging smashes with my slamming six strings and their bubbles were burst. And just my luck, nearby there was a large deposit of redstone ore, so I gathered it up for Spider Queen. From day 32 to day 35, I continued patrolling around the Twilight Valley for any more signs of trouble, along with any more useful resources I could bring back. And while I was wandering around, I overheard the sound of distressed wailing.
Help! Oh, won't someone help me? I'm far too important to need to ask for help.
Hey there, who are you?
What a rather humorous joke. Quite amusing, yes, imagine not knowing who I am. Why, you've cheered me up somewhat, small spidery peasant.
I wasn't kidding. I don't know who you are.
Don't know? How insulting. I am royalty. I am the King Pig, pig-headed head of the pig-head monarchy.
Oh, my bad. Are you needing help with something?
Well, it's about time you offered. My benefactor, the rich mummy, has run afoul of a hairy troll. And since he provides me with a lion's share of his wealth, I'm distraught. He's not even written me into his will yet, so I won't get any of his gold if that troll smashes him.
You, want me to go save him? I'm a superhero after all.
Oh, a hero of the common folk. How quaint. Yes, on you go, Spider Boy.
It's Spider-Man! Ice Spider-Man! From day 36 to day 39, I searched the Twilight Valley for any signs of this rich mummy, and eventually came across my first sign of where he might be, a troll's mini base. I watched from a distance, and it looked like the hairy troll was guarding the front entrance. If I tried to just walk up, he could smash me to spider smithereens. So I had to think up a strategy. How was I going to get in there? I'd need to take the troll out, but attacking head-on was a bad idea. Sneaking around the back? It could work, but it might take too long, and the rich mummy might be doomed if the troll got hungry before I could reach him. Think, Zozo, think! You can do whatever a spider can. Oh, could I climb in? I tried on a nearby tree, but I couldn't stick to it. No climbing up walls for me, that stinks. I could ride my web shooter, but he will spot me immediately. That's not gonna work either. Maybe my best option was to look for another way in. From day 40 to day 43, I made my way around the outskirts of the troll's mini base, and lucky for me, there was a back entrance. Inside, I found the rich mummy trapped in a cage.
Who might you be? Oh no, you're not with him, are you? Oh ghastly, you must be his torturer.
No, I'm ICE SPIDERMAN. I'm here to save you. Just keep it down. I need to clear the way ahead. Then I'll come back for you. I snuck through the base and spotted the hairy troll. He didn't see me coming, so I used the element of surprise while I had it. I spun my webs to catch him in place, but he was strong enough to tear himself free. It barely slowed him down. He swung his mace at me, and I was luckily able to dodge out of the way just in the nick of time, thanks to my Outback leggings. I retaliated by swinging my guitar at him, but the hairy troll had a high resistance to rock. Thinking quick, I used my webs again, not to get him stuck, but to blind him. It worked! I could get close enough to bash the hairy troll with my guitar and defeated him! With the troll out of the way, I went back to free the rich mummy and led him back to the king pig.
Reginald, so good to see you. Thank you for your assistance, Spider Peasant. You may leave my mighty presence now.
So much for grateful. From day 44 to day 49, I finally made my way back to base to deliver the redstone blocks that Spider Queen needed.
This is perfect. Exactly what I needed. Zozo, you make the rockin' world go round.
It was no problem, Spider Queen. Can't wait to see what you do with it. It was then that I took a look around the base. The whole place was in a real sorry state. I decided now that I had a moment to spare, I'd dedicate some time to cleaning up and improving the base with some defensive upgrades. I built a sturdy perimeter wall to stop any intruders from getting in. By the time I was done, Spider Queen had something to show me.
Ta-da! Open your eyes, look up to the sky, and see!
Wow, that's really something, Spider Queen.
Thanks, Zozo. It's not quite done, but it'll rock you when it's finished.
From day 50 to day 53, I awoke to the sound of a struggle. Spider Queen was in trouble.
Zozo, help! Help me! I want to break free! I've got to break free!
I rushed into action, but as soon as I stepped out of my room, I was greeted by a gang of bubble monsters.
Rise and shine, ICE SPIDERMAN.
And I didn't order room service, guys.
It's on the house, no charge. Speaking of, boys, charge!
Outside, Pigless had arrived, and she was sending in hordes of her bubble minions to attack. I hadn't even had breakfast yet, and now I had to fend off monsters with all of my might. Good thing I got in my 8 hours last night.
We got that spotty you're looking for, boss.
You idiots! That's the musician! I wanted the little brat in blue pajamas, not Leggy Mercury here!
I was still battling the bubble monsters. By the time I had finally burst every last one of them, I had gained enough XP to level up. Wow, I've heard some people start their day with a workout, but this is insane. I now had 50 hearts and a new ability, Ice Blast. I was quickly becoming the coolest superhero around. There was one problem. I'd lost my musical guest in the process. From day 54 to day 57, I decided my only option was to return to the pompous King Pig and see if he knew where I could find Pigless. King Pig, Pigless. I wonder if the two of them are related. Yeah, probably just a coincidence. A short journey later, and I was back in the Twilight Valley. All I had to do was listen out for the sounds of stolen moneybags, and sure enough, I found the monarch in front of his castle.
Oh, you're back. Spider something, wasn't it? Did one of my servants send for you?
No, I'm here to ask you some questions. And since you didn't even thank me for saving your friend, I'd say you at least owe me a little bit of your time.
My time is very valuable, like all the jewels and gemstones my servants brought me from far away. But I suppose I have a few moments to spare.
My friend was taken by Pigless. I need to know where she is.
Pigless? Pigless? Do not speak that name!
You know each other then?
She's a traitor to the crown, a deserter. She stormed out when she figured out she'd never be next in line to the throne. Gave her a real complex. She feels like she's better than everyone, but still not good enough if she can't rule.
Wait, so does that make her your sister? Or no, cousin? Royalty is confusing, and it seems like a lot of fuss over nothing.
Nothing? How dare you? We uphold a proud and noble tradition of theft. A tradition of tradition.
So where is Pigless now?
I don't keep in touch. She said some very hurtful things about me which weren't at all true. But last I heard, she resides in Red Rock Mountain, although the terrain is harsh, so you won't make it there in one piece with so little armor.
From day 58 to day 62, I decided to follow up on the one useful piece of advice the King Pig had to offer and set about crafting myself some tough new armor. I scoured the area until I found a cave that led to a mine tucked away deep underground, and in the mine was plenty of what I needed: diamonds! I managed to find quite a few, but not enough to make the armor I needed. Not wanting them to go to waste, I forged them into a mighty diamond sword for stronger attacks, and a matching pickaxe to make mining quicker and easier. I didn't have to wait long to test them out either, as it turned out the mine belonged to a skeleton jackal who was none too happy about me mining his diamonds. But it didn't take more than a few swings of my shiny new blade to settle our differences. From day 63 to day 66, I decided, rather than rushing straight back into danger and venturing up the treacherous terrain of the Red Rock Mountain, I hiked back to base to catch up on some rest. That way, I could be ready and refreshed when I set off to save Spider Queen. But speaking of Spider Queen, when I returned to base, I was met with a saddening sight. Her statue left unfinished now that she'd been captured. I thought about completing it in her honor, but it felt too much like admitting defeat before I'd even tried to save her. So instead, I left it as it was. She could have the satisfaction of finishing her hard work once I'd gotten her back in one piece. Knowing her, she was probably looking forward to it. I settled in for the night, right in Spider Queen's bedroom. That way, I feel closer to her. Watch till the end of the video to see if we manage to save her. And why not click that subscribe button down below to stay tuned for future videos. From day 67 to day 70, I made my long journey towards Red Rock Mountain, scaling the dangerous Crimson Cliff Face and being careful to watch my step. One fall, and it could be all over. As I descended from the peaks, I spotted a path. I followed until I saw the looming structure that Pigless had made into her base, and the whole place was massive and absolutely crawling with her minions. While I was still scoping it out from a distance, I thought back to my mission to save the rich zombie from that hairy troll, and how I hadn't been able to enter through the front, but had better luck looking for a second way in. So I tried the same tactic again, heading around, scaling massive mountains, swinging from one hilltop to the other until I made it to the side of the base. I saw my entry point, an opening in the side. I aimed carefully and shot my web shooter to make my way in, and I landed right in the middle of a group of bubble monsters.
It's the spider! Get this sucker, boys!
Heck of a way to roll out the welcome wagon. You treat all your guests like this? I swung my diamond sword and instantly slashed the nearest two, taking care of the next with a well-timed ice blast. Another hit from my sword, and he was shattered to pieces, while the others were quickly stuck fast with my webs right where I could strike at them. From day 71 to day 74, I snuck around the inside of Red Rock Mountain Base, making sure to keep out of the path of Pigless's many minions. But there was one enemy I recognized.
Halt in the name of Pigless! Oh wait, it's you, Zozo!
Barry? Barry B. Benson?
Black and yellow, hello!
How are things with you and your wife?
Hard to say. We're still going through it. We're planning to go see a concert soon. She likes jazz.
That's good. So you're not gonna attack me?
Nah, you're good. I just need to think about some things.
It wasn't hard to see that his heart really wasn't all in on working for Pigless.
It's a good job. I mean, there's not a lot of coverage, no dental, stuff like that.
I'm gonna go.
Oh, sure. Listen, I shouldn't tell you this, but check the chest in the room up ahead. There's some handy stuff in there.
I went to investigate and found myself the proud owner of a full set of diamond armor. Whoa, Barry wasn't kidding. Now I can match the speed of a spider with the protection of diamonds. From day 75 to day 78, I explored a little more and found where Pigless had left Spider Queen trapped in a big cage. She'd clearly been singing to herself to keep her spirits up, but by now, she was just yelling in case any of the bubble monsters were passing by.
I just gotta get out of this prison cell. Someday I'm gonna be free. Oh, look, I want to break free. I've got to break free. Now? Please? Easy come, easy go. Will you let me go?
Now's good for you then?
Zozo! Oh, you're a sight for sore eyes. I've been so bored cooped up here. I want to get out and have fun. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike.
You have a bike? But you've got 8 legs.
I think it's a metaphor or something.
Well, I've got just the thing to break you out.
Gunpowder? Gelatine? Dynamite with a laser beam?
Close. It's a diamond sword. With a swing of the blade, I cracked open the lock and sent Spider Queen back to our base. She rushed off, and not a moment too soon, because Pigless had found me.
You! First you intrude on my dimension, then you intrude on my home. I'm going to squash you at long last, puny spider!
Pigless came at me, but I was able to freeze one of her feet in place, then web her hands to slow her down. I leaped close to swipe at her with my diamond sword, but just when I thought I had the upper hand, she knocked me back with a powerful hit. I decided to escape while I still could, and dashed out of the base. From day 79 to day 84, I was exhausted from the fighting, so the Spider Queen offered to give me a ride, which was really nice of her. We managed to make our way back to safety, but little did I realize that Pigless had had enough.
That little wretch! How dare he try to defy my right to rule! He and the rest of this overworld will soon see that they shouldn't have messed with Pigless!
With that, Pigless used a powerful potion to make herself even stronger. Now she'd be an even tougher fight when it came time for me to face off with her again. From day 85 to day 89, we arrived back at base, and my good friend Spider Queen, whose ride was surprisingly comfy, was super happy to be free from Pigless's cage.
Pigless thought she could stop me and spit in my eye. But we did it. We are the champions, my friend.
We sure are.
Look, I managed to swipe this from one of the guards at Pigless's base. I thought I could use it to break free, but instead, I was just screaming, "Let me out!" Anyway, I think you should have it. You're gonna take on the world someday.
Spider Queen handed me the upgrade. It was a fire aspect and sharpness 2 enchantment. I immediately went to apply it to my diamond sword to deal some extra damage. Now, I had the power of ice, fire, and spiders on my side. Once I was done improving my sword, I returned to find Spider Queen putting the final finishing touches on her statue.
Ayo, are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Then may I present to you my masterpiece. I call it Zohemian Rhapsody.
Zohemian?
Named after you, of course, Zozo. I can't keep living without you by my side.
I like it. Makes me feel ready to take on Pigless one last time.
Well, you better be careful. I saw she had a whole cabinet of potions to make her stronger. Her bubble monsters steal them from King Pig's cellar and bring them back to her.
Maybe I can intercept them and take a potion for myself. That ought to level the playing field.
And that way, you'll keep on fighting to the end.
From day 90 to day 94, I headed back towards the Twilight Valley and followed a trail that the bubble monsters had left from the King Pig's palace to a small camp they had set up nearby. Just like Spider Queen had told me, they had a potion of power, but it must have been the last one left.
Yep, that's the last one left. Hey, boss, question. If Pigless had us stealing all these here potions, why doesn't she give each of us one? Then we'd all be a tougher army, and she could overthrow the King Pig.
We're not about that kind of talking. The potions are for Pigless.
I webbed the closest bubble monster in place, slashing the other with my newly enchanted fire aspect diamond sword. The heat popped them in an instant, and before the other two could get free, I cut them down too. I retrieved the last potion of power, but waited before I drank it. The King Pig's palace was only a short walk away, and maybe I could get one last favor from him. From day 95 to day 97, I walked right up to the King Pig's throne and showed him what I had recovered. You know what this is?
Why, that's an excellent vintage. One glass is worth the yearly wages of my entire staff. You'd better put that back in the cellar with the others before I have you executed.
There are no more others. Pigless had been sending her minions in to steal them from right under your nose.
Pigless? Something must be done about that treasonous traitor.
I'll take care of Pigless, but only if you let me keep this potion and be way nicer to your servants. In fact, stop hoarding all this fancy expensive stuff. Learn to share.
Share? What is that? I'm not familiar with this common folk slang.
You have a whole library here. Look it up in the dictionary. After a few moments of learning what sharing was, the King Pig returned.
Preposterous! If how do I pronounce it? Shared, I wouldn't have all my power and riches.
But that might not be such a bad thing, if even a fraction of your wealth might improve the lives of other people.
So if I, say for example, just gave you this netherite armor, then how would that improve anyone's life?
Well, with that, I could take down Pigless, which is also what you want, isn't it?
Yes, but confound it! What commoner wizardry is this? You've confused me. I need to go lie down. Here, this is yours, I think.
With that, the king pig handed over an entire set of netherite armor. Now I had the most powerful protection against piglets. On day 98, I returned to my base to make the final preparations I needed to ahead of my big battle with piglets. I had my diamond sword at the ready, enchanted with a powerful fire aspect for added flaming damage. I had my netherite armor on, ready to defend me against oncoming damage. Plus, I had my ICE Spiderman powers at the ready. I even tested out my ice blasts and cobwebs, and they were ready to go. Before leaving though, I stopped by Spider Queen's room to tell her how to get to Max's neighborhood. If I didn't make it back, she would need a safe place to live. Now there was just one question: what was going to happen next? If you think you know, then leave your answers in the comments. And while you're there, tell us what video you'd like to see next. On day 99, I made my final journey to Red Rock Mountain and stopped just outside the entrance to Piglet's base. It was quiet, too quiet. All her minions seemed to have run off in fear. If they were that scared of her new, more powerful form, then I needed to be prepared. I drank the potion of power, and this upgraded me to my final form. I now had a full 100 hearts, and the last of my Ice Spider-Man powers were finally unlocked. I could climb walls. Ready for anything, I headed inside to find Piglet waiting for me. She was much bigger and stronger than before, and way more vicious.
I was meant to rule this overworld. It's my birthright, and I won't have you meddling in my destiny any longer.
Oh, I don't think so, Piglet. The battle was on. Piglet hurled a javelin at me, but thanks to my super spider agility and my outback leggings, I dodged right out of the way, then climbed up the nearby wall so I was out of her reach. From my vantage point, I fired ice blasts and cobwebs at her, trying to slow her down.
Get down from there!
She threw another javelin, and I went to get out of the way, but I timed it wrong and fell. I quickly picked myself up and got back into the fight. It was the toughest of battles, but Piglet seemed to be overexerting herself. I managed to keep dodging away, climbing the walls, and using my webs to slow her down, until finally I landed an ice blast.
This is too cold.
Don't worry, my sword has a fire aspect enchantment. It should help turn up the heat. With a mighty strike, I had done it! Piglet was defeated at last! On day 100, instead of returning to my base, I returned victorious to Max's neighborhood, where I was immediately greeted by Spider Queen, as well as Max and his friends.
Another one bites the dust. Great work, Zozo. I knew you were gonna be a big man someday.
Well, I couldn't have done it without you, Spider Queen.
Oh, you're too kind. You're the champion here, Zozo.
Spider Queen really livened the place up with her music, but we're glad to see you made it back in one piece.
Me too, and everyone should click the link in the description to check out the adventure we went on together. Then, much to my surprise, the King Pig also showed up.
Zozo, my boy, you didn't tell me that sharing also came with this delightful feeling. I don't really know what it's called, but seeing the smiles on my servants' faces gave me one of those, what are they called? Emotions?
You mean you feel happy?
That's the ticket, and I've been reading up too. Did you know that all the traditions of the pighead monarchy are centuries old? It seems so silly to still be upholding them.
So what did you do?
Oh, I gave my palace and all my riches to my servants, except they aren't my servants anymore, just people, and so am I. Look at me, one of the people. Now, who is your charming eight-legged friend here?
Well, you might be a former King Pig, but she's Spider Queen.
And we will rock you.
On day 1, I spawned into the Baobab Savannah as the mighty electric tiger. Well, at least a baby version of an electric tiger. But if I work hard and train, I can live fully up to my electric tiger potential.
Oh no you won't.
I looked in front of me and saw a massive, hulking squall golem thundering towards me. He was so much bigger than me, the size difference was terrifying. Listen, mister, I don't want any trouble. I'm Zozo. What's your name?
My name's Mike, and I'm here to fight.
But why? That doesn't even rhyme.
Yes, it does. If I say it rhymes, it rhymes. I'm the strongest creature in the world. Nothing challenges me anymore, and the only way to relieve the boredom is getting into fights with anyone I can.
But...
No buts, weakling, or I'll kick yours. Here's the deal. I'm gonna give you 100 days. You better use them well, kid, and get as strong as possible. Strong enough to have an interesting fight with me. 'Cause if you don't, I'm gonna find you and pound you until you're nothing more than a little electric tiger stain in the floor. Now run.
Mike the Squall Golem didn't have to tell me twice. I turned and ran away as quickly as possible, while Mike just laughed at me. He seemed like my most formidable opponent yet. 100 days. I need to get real strong in that time, or Mike really is gonna destroy me. On day 2, I continued running through the Baobab Savannah, not stopping until I was confident that Mike the Squall Golem was nowhere to be seen. Phew, that was a close one. If he'd attacked me in that state, I would have been a goner. I only have 10 hearts. I wonder if I have any special abilities. Without even realizing I could, I released a blast of electrical energy from my paw. The electricity is eliminated from me and charges up the air around me. That must have been one of my basic electric tiger abilities. Whoa, maybe I'm not as helpless as I thought. Wait, do I see a pear tree there? I should grab one. I grabbed a few pears and ate them. Even if my hunger was full, I just couldn't resist it. Things were looking up already. At least I wasn't gonna be hungry. But my contentment didn't last for long. A scary plant-like whisperer rustled its way towards me. It wasn't as big as Mike, but it was definitely freaky. Oh no, I have a feeling I know who you work for.
You feel correctly, Zozo. You really think you can beat Mike? He's the GOAT.
GOAT? He's a Squall Golem.
No, GOAT is an acronym. He is the greatest of all time. GOAT. And that's why you've got no hope against him.
Then why even bother coming after me? I didn't even want to fight.
I'm gonna destroy you myself to save Mike his time.
As the whisperer approached me, I fired my energy blast, but it didn't even slow him down. All I could do was run away, knowing that even with my energy blast, I had no hope of fighting him. I was hiding behind a small clutch of trees when suddenly a wind caller teleported in front of me.
Come with me if you want to live.
Sure, let's go. I'll follow you.
Wow, people normally have questions. Let's go.
The wind caller ran off, and I followed him without question, happy to finally have someone on my side. On day 3, I continued following the wind caller deeper into the Baobab Savannah. He seemed to have confidence and power. It definitely made me feel safer around him.
I've been waiting for you to arrive, Zozo. You have no idea how many people have anticipated this special day.
Special? This doesn't feel that special, aside from you saving my life from all the weird creeps who have been trying to attack me.
Those weird creeps, as you aptly put it, have been bothering people for quite some time. But if you stick with me and my allies, we might be able to change that together.
The wind caller led me to a small shack, leaving me to talk to its inhabitant, a mysterious figure called the Illusioner.
So, you are the one the wind caller selected, You don't appear all that strong, but perhaps that will change.
I still don't understand what's happening here. Who are all of you people? And what does any of this have to do with me or that nasty Squall Golem Mike?
Windcaller and I are just 2 members of a secret group called the Order of the Shield. For years, we have made it our purpose to find and train a champion capable of destroying Mike and ending his reign of terror. If you accept this responsibility, we will do all we can to help you realize your destiny.
Well, seeing as Mike is gonna come after me anyway, I agree to working with you.
Good. Go with Windcaller. There is no time to waste. You must get strong enough to defeat Mike once and for all.
From day 4 to day 5, the Windcaller and I went deeper into the Baobab Savannah. We didn't stop until we found an area that was big and flat enough to start constructing a base. First, I knocked down a tree and used its resources to construct a wooden pickaxe. I then mined into the ground and collected enough stone to create my first set of real tools, a stone pickaxe and a stone sword. From there, I gathered more stone and granite and made a basic base with a bed for myself and another one for the Windcaller to stay in with me.
You've done great work here, Zozo. You show promise. With time, you will become a great warrior, capable of taking on Mike and showing him what we are all capable of.
I want to get stronger, Windcaller, but I'm not sure where to start. How can I become more powerful?
I can help you with that, Zozo. I'll give you a portion of my power, and that will give you a foundation to build on. Stay still, please.
The Windcaller fired an energy blast at me. The second it hit me, I started growing, becoming bigger, and had the ability to summon lightning strikes. I tried it out on some grass, and it was fantastic. Wow, I'm really starting to live up to my electric tiger name now. From day 6 to day 8, I decided to explore a new part of the savannah and test out my new powers for real. energy blasts and lightning strikes. I'm a force to be reckoned with. And those powers would soon come in handy because I saw an innocent fungus thrower being attacked by that nasty whisperer who had attacked me earlier. I'm not gonna let this stand. As I ran in, the whisperer's attention was turned to me, and the fungus thrower was able to escape. It was just me and my old enemy now. Hey, you ugly plant.
You again? I didn't expect to see you after you ran off like a coward last time.
I'm no coward whisperer, and I'm about to prove it.
Talk is cheap, Tiger Boy. Let's go.
I unleashed a powerful lightning strike on the whisperer, and this time it was completely destroyed. My electric tiger powers were coming in clutch already. Yo, fungus thrower, it's safe to come out now. I'm friendly, I promise. When I found him on the beach, the poor lad was shivering from fear.
Dude, that was scary, but also amazing. I thought I was a goner, and then you came in like a superhero, like bam, zow, kapow. It was awesome.
Well, I don't like to brag, but I guess it was pretty awesome.
You're real good at this whole fighting bad guys thing, dude. Tell you what, I know there's a real nasty bad guy not far from here. Follow me, let's see if you can beat him.
Sure, it couldn't hurt to try. Let's go. From day 9 to day 10, I followed the fungus thrower into the bamboo jungle until we reached a clearing. There, a freaky frozen zombie was waiting. Yikes, that thing seems unpleasant, but a promise is a promise. I ran in and unleashed a lightning strike against the frozen zombie, but it didn't seem to do anything other than annoy this particularly frosty member of the living dead. The frozen zombie chased me, and all I could do was run away as fast as I could. When I'd managed to lose the frozen zombie, I rendezvoused with the fungus thrower again. I'm really sorry for letting you down on this one, man, but I just don't think I'm strong enough to take down that frozen zombie yet.
It's chill, dude. You did your best, and that's what matters.
Tell you what, why don't you come and stay at my base while I get stronger? You seem like a cool guy. I'd love to hang out with you some more.
Oh, you're too sweet, man. Let's do it.
From day 11 to day 12, I returned to my base with the fungus thrower. It was exciting to have another friend added to my team. Fungus thrower left to relax while I built a new room for him, along with the rooms for me and the wind caller. What do you think, buddy?
This looks awesome, Zozo! I can't wait to hang out here! And hey, I got a little restless while you were building the bedroom, so I built a couple of upgrades of my own. Go take a look!
The upgrades that the fungus thrower had created were truly awesome. He'd made a beautiful path connecting all the buildings and a storage room for the base, with a furnace that I could use to smelt and forge metal. Say, that gives me an idea. I searched until I found a cave that might contain some valuable materials, and sure enough, right at the entrance, I found a rich vein of iron ore. I mined and collected a bunch of it before going back to my base. Once I was there, I used my furnace to smelt the ore into ingots. Then I made a full set of iron tools. I still had a little left over, so I used that to make an iron helmet and a chest plate. This looks awesome! So I've got shelter and weaponry covered. Now, I need to make sure my food sources are sustainable too. I built a small chicken farm on my base and herded a few chickens inside, so I'd never run out of eggs or yummy chicken. From day 13 to day 15, I spoke to my mentor, the wind caller, and asked him if he knew any other ways I could train and get stronger.
A very good question, Zozo. To become a better fighter, you need to fight and hone your battle tactics. I've heard reports of another one of those sinister whisperers wandering around the bamboo jungle. Go out there and defeat it to grow your strength.
Because everything Windcaller had said so far hadn't led me astray, I followed his advice and went out to the bamboo jungle again. I searched until I found the whisperer that Windcaller had told me about.
I will destroy you in the name of Mike.
Not if I destroy you first, Whisperer. With my new iron sword, it wasn't hard to battle the Whisperer into submission. When the Whisperer was destroyed, it dropped a potion of strength onto the ground. Perfect timing. I was starting to feel super thirsty. I picked up the potion of strength and drank it, and I felt the change immediately. I started to get bigger, stronger, and my hearts grew to 30. The Windcaller was right. Fighting that Whisperer did make me stronger. From day 16 to day 19, I continued exploring the overworld until I came upon the Cypress Swamplands. It was a strange, mystical place, and the more I wandered around, the more I got the sense that something important was waiting for me here. And that feeling proved to be right when I came upon an ancient book of secrets laying around. I decided that it might be worth reading, so I flipped through until I found a section called How to Defeat Squall Golems. Wow, that's appropriate. A section read, the stony flesh of a squall golem may seem impenetrable. Even diamond swords and the strongest of arrows just seem to bounce off. But if one could obtain a sword of netherite, then the playing field would be evened. A netherite sword? I need to get my hands on one of those then. My moment of victory was interrupted by a pair of whisperers suddenly appearing and wandering towards me. They must have come here to stop me from reading this book of secrets. You overgrown weeds can't scare me. With my lightning strikes and energy blasts, the three whisperers were destroyed for good. From day 20 to day 22, knowing that I needed a netherite sword to truly defeat Mike the Squall Golem, I went back to the mining cave looking for more material. Sadly, I couldn't find any diamonds or netherite down there, just more iron ore. I mined a bunch of it and went back to my base where I smelted it into ingots and made myself the rest of my iron armor. If you can't invest in your attacks, you might as well invest in your defense. My recent increase in strength reminded me of an old unsettled score. I needed to defeat the frozen zombie for my friend the fungus thrower. Time to send that zombie to its eternal resting place. I returned to the bamboo jungle and hunted down the frozen zombie that had given me trouble all those days ago. With my iron sword, I was able to defeat the nasty undead once and for all. It probably won't be long before I'm strong enough to take on Mike and win.
I wouldn't be so sure, weakling.
I turned and saw Mike himself was standing right behind me. I wanted to run, but this time I stood my ground. I'm not scared of you anymore, Mike. I know the secret. I just need to get my hands on a netherite sword. I'm a champion of the Order of the Shield. What's so funny?
You think you're the first champion? You think you're the only one who knows about netherite swords? I've destroyed 100 foolish champions like you, and you'll make it 101.
Mike punched me, taking off a frightening number of hearts. All I could do was run for my life. I was clearly still not strong enough to face him yet. From day 23 to day 26, I went back to my base and informed the fungus thrower that I defeated the frozen zombie of the bamboo forest. Way to go, Zozo! You've no doubt achieved a whole new level of strength from that battle. And I plan to get even stronger now that I was able to fulfill my promise to you. Oh yeah, buddy, I know you can. I knew that I needed stronger materials in my inventory if I really wanted to work my way up to that netherite sword, so I went digging for more iron in my mining cave. While there were still no diamonds to be found, the iron ore was plentiful. I helped myself to as much of the iron as I could carry and smelted a bunch of it down into some more ingots. I made a temporary smelting location to smelt the iron while I mined. I already had a set of iron tools and armor, so out of all the iron, I made an anvil, so we can repair our gear when it loses durability. My pickaxe can be the first candidate to get repaired. Once I was done mining, I went above ground to my base where Windcaller was waiting for me.
Zozo, I've given the base a new addition that will be sure to keep you safe while you build up your strength.
That sure is nice of you.
Consider it my thanks for all the hard work you've put in so far.
I went to see what the Windcaller had added to the base and found a well-constructed security bunker to hide in case of invasion. This looks like it will come in handy. From day 27 to day 31, I was far away from the base, exploring the cypress swamplands when I had first learned about the existence of netherite swords. If I remember my last visit correctly, I also defeated a couple of whisperers while I was here. The whole area looked totally peaceful now, without any of Mike's minions to be seen. As I was taking in the pleasant vibes, I was approached by a kindly Fletcher, who seemed rather happy that the swamplands were free of baddies.
Wowee zowie! You must be Zozo the Electric Tiger. I heard you took down those whisperers some days ago.
That's me. I'm the toughest and only electric tiger around.
That's wicked awesome. It's good to know that there are people out there looking for strength who are also nice and willing to stand up for the weak.
I will do my best to help those in need.
I heard there were some other whisperers skulking around and looking to challenge you. They must really want to stand up for that Mike guy.
I can take them. Do you know where they are?
Not right now, but they'd probably hunt me down and try to beat me up if they knew I told you that. Then they'd be right here in the swamp again.
I know. What if you stayed at my base for a while? At least until I have my match with Mike. That way, I can protect you. The Fletcher agreed, and together we went back to my base where I added a base extension. I made a small outdoors library with a few couches to have a nice cozy place to relax. The books that I put on the shelves would teach me strategies and techniques for winning battles. Because knowledge is power. Later, I was approached by Windcaller, who had some bad news.
Zozo, we have to come with you again. Mike's minions have discovered the Order of the Shield and are attacking its members. We need to check on the Illusioner before he could be next.
Oh no, that sounds serious. Let's go. From day 32 to day 35, Windcaller and I crossed the Baobab Savannah to reach the Illusioner's shack. When we found the place, it was too late. The shack was under attack by a Whisperer, and the Illusioner was desperately fighting for his life.
You Order of the Shield fools can't win. Might makes right. The saying is might makes right. What you said is just silly. You're calling us silly? Just for that, you're going to die.
The Whisperer destroyed the Illusioner right before our eyes. You monsters!
Talk about pathetic. Is this all the Order of the Shield is made of?
You're dead wrong. I'm Zozo, the Electric Tiger. I am the champion, and I'll show you how strong I am. I called down a lightning strike, getting the Whisperer's attention and dealing a bunch of damage in the process. With a few swings of my iron sword, I made that Whisperer pay for what it did to the Illusioner. More Whisperers emerged from the edges. I was so angry, I didn't even need to use my energy blast to bring the pain and take them all down. When the battle was over, Windcaller and I planned what our next move would be.
We need to be on the lookout for any other mobs that are working for Mike.
Curse him! We were too late to save the Illusioner from his rampage.
We'll keep an eye out for the other surviving members of the Order of the Shield, and once we're together, we'll help you become the strongest champion you can be.
From day 36 to day 39, I returned to the bamboo jungle so I could practice all my most powerful fighting moves in a safe place where none of my friends would get hurt. I was tossing around energy blast when I blasted away some bamboo and found an iron golem hiding nearby.
Whoa, easy with those blasts. You could knock somebody out with those.
My apologies, I didn't know you were here. Sometimes I don't know my own strength.
Oh, no, it's okay. I actually have been searching for someone strong enough to defeat the ruthless roaming Ravager.
If it's a worthy opponent that gives me a chance to test my skills, then I'm 100% game. Where is this Ravager anyway?
I'll show the way, oh mighty Electric Tiger.
I was brought to another part of the bamboo forest where the ruthless roaming Ravager was running around. It was my time to bring that bad boy down. I fired some energy blasts from my paws, and the Ravager responded by jumping over to me and making a few attacks. I countered with my iron sword. The battle raged on for a while, but I knew from the start I would come out on top. And I was right! I returned to the Iron Golem to tell him that I had successfully defeated that rascally Ravager.
Ha! You really are one tough tiger.
That's for sure. From day 40 to day 43, I was in the base and decided to see how the fungus thrower was doing. It looked like he had been hard at work decorating the base with all sorts of tiger-patterned banners and paintings. This base looks absolutely awesome now. Good job, fungus.
I'm glad you like it. I was just sprucing the place up in preparation for the pigs I invited over.
You invited pigs?
Yep, I invited some pigs because I thought they might enjoy themselves here.
That's a bad pun, but not a bad idea. I say yes.
Fantastic! I mean, fantastic!
The pigs that Fungus Thrower invited arrived soon after and were the life of the party. I even got to train my defenses against their classic pig pile technique. After entertaining our fine piggy guests for a while, I went for a walk out in the base and ran into Fletcher. Everything all right, Fletcher?
I'm worried about my home back in the Cypress Swamplands. Do you think you could go check on it just to be safe?
Sure, buddy. It's the least I can do for a friend. From day 44 to day 49, I went back to the Cypress Swamplands like Fletcher wanted me to. I was expecting there might be a few whisperers milling about, but I never imagined that I'd see Mike himself.
What up, Tiger? Ready to take another shot at the big man?
Mike, this should be between you and me. What you did to the Order of the Shield was unforgivable.
Nah, no way. I've been beefing with those bozos since long before you showed up. And if you're the chosen champion they kept talking about, then I had to take them down before you become any stronger.
So you did it because you're afraid I'll get stronger than you? Well, now you've made sure it'll happen. I will beat you, Mike, one of these days.
You want to make this personal, huh? Alright, let's make it personal. See if you can take on my man, the Piglin Brute.
To my surprise, Mike ran off and stuck me fighting with one big mean mob that he called a Piglin Brute. It sure did live up to its name.
I'm about to show you why they call me the Piglin Brute. Because I'm brutal.
Yeah, I already got that.
Put up your dukes, Electric Tiger.
He slammed me with an attack that was definitely brutal, but thankfully my iron helmet was able to soak up some of the damage. I traded blows using my sword and started to wear him down, but the knockback of his attacks was giving me some trouble. This'll be a tough fight. From day 50 to day 53, I had started to use my energy blast to continue to deal damage to the piglin brute. He didn't show much signs of tiring, but then again, neither did I.
I can see why the Order of the Shield was impressed by you, but you can't really be the champion who will defeat Mike because I'm about to take you down.
Wouldn't bet on it, brute. I launched a couple of strikes at the brute, then I hit him with my sword and knocked him off balance so I could defeat him with some classic Electric Tiger Energy Blast. Bye-bye, brute. You were my biggest and meanest opponent yet, but I've won this round. The piglin brute disappeared, and I soon found an item that he dropped. It was a map leading to Mike's fight club. This is quite a discovery. I didn't know whether Mike expected me to find this or not, but either way, this meant that I could go to his base whenever I wanted. From day 54 to day 57, I cleared the cypress swamplands of all remaining hostile mobs so that Fletcher wouldn't have to worry anymore. The last one in the area was especially tough, a Vindicator who could take a lot of hits from my iron sword. I really had to stay on my guard the whole fight, relying on my new combat strategies that I had been practicing. Sure enough, I was able to win with plenty of hearts to spare. The Vindicator even dropped a netherite ingot, which was the first step to the netherite sword that I'd need to defeat Mike. I quickly returned to the base to tell Fletcher the good news.
So, the swamplands are safe?
They sure are.
You mean that you found a netherite ingot, just like that?
I sure did. That's some kind of coincidence, huh?
It's no coincidence, it's a sign. You are meant to be the champion of the Order of the Shield. It's your destiny.
Well, in that case, I better make the most of this chance and get some diamonds so we can eventually make a netherite sword.
You can do it, Zozo.
From day 58 to day 62, I made a much-needed expansion to the chicken farm so that it could hold more livestock. It was just in time, too, because I was able to round up more chickens for food. An electric tiger's gotta eat to keep his energy up, and delicious chicken tenders are what's on the menu. Next, I delved down to the mining cave to have another look for the diamonds I would need to craft a diamond sword. I had to explore pretty deep, but soon enough, I managed to get my pickaxe into some diamonds. There's many diamonds here. I might believe in destiny after all. I mined for a while and found more than enough diamonds to make the diamond sword, which I planned on using as the foundation for the netherite sword I'd be making later. I used the rest of the diamonds to craft a diamond pickaxe and a full set of diamond armor for myself. Once I was satisfied with the amount of diamonds I had amassed, I returned to the surface of the base and met up with Windcaller. Hey, Windcaller, I've crafted a diamond sword.
That's excellent, Zozo. We should celebrate in the brand new super amazing party room that I just built.
Oh wow, no way! A party room! I love parties! While I had been down in the mines, Windcaller had given the base its most exciting feature yet, a decorated room for hosting parties. I tried out the dance floor and had a really good time. From day 63 to day 66, I was hanging out at the base with Fungus Thrower, discussing ways for me to become even stronger. If I could train in a new location, maybe I'd be able to discover some new fighting moves. I actually know just the place. If you train in the harsh sunlight of the desert, you'll increase your strength in no time. How do I find the desert? I'll show you the way on your map. The Fungus Thrower marked the desert as a location on the map I received from the fallen piglin brute. It looked like it was on the way to the biome where Mike's fight club could be found. I should get used to that path while I'm out there. I went to the desert and felt the sun beating down on me. This would be a good place to train, and I was in the mood for a fight with a scary opponent. Across the dunes, I saw one scary-looking wither skeleton. I moved towards him with my sword drawn, ready for battle. Hey you, wanna fight Zozo the Electric Tiger?
No thank you. I don't want to fight, especially not a tough customer like you.
Okay, I can respect that. We won't fight.
Did you think just because I'm scary looking that I'd want to fight? You really shouldn't judge people by their outward appearances.
Yeah, that was my bad. I'm very sorry about that, friend. Lesson learned.
It happens to me a lot, I'm afraid. Just the other day, a Zoglin tried to pick a fight with me. I told him, no, wait for a strong person who wants to fight.
Well, if that Zoglin wants a fight, I'll fight him. I came here to train anyway. From day 67 to day 70, the friendly wither skeleton brought me to meet the Zoglin, a dangerous opponent who was also looking for a challenging fight. The Zoglin agreed to fight me one-on-one so we could test each other's strength. Before the fight began, the wither skeleton took me aside so we could have a quick discussion.
Are you sure you can win, Zozo? I didn't mean to put you in danger.
I think I've got a chance, but thanks for being concerned.
No, thank you for fighting this battle for me.
That's what a strong person does. Now I'm gonna go kick some Zoglin butt. The fight between myself and the Zoglin was off to an exciting start when the Zoglin charged straight at me. I dodged his powerful tusks and hit with my sword while his back was turned. The Zoglin countered by hitting me with his tusks. I lost a few hearts, but I was still in the fight. I fired some energy blasts and used my signature lightning strike to deliver the last blow, defeating the Zoglin.
Zozo, you did it!
I am the Electric Tiger Zozo. Remember the name! From day 71 to day 74, I had completely left the desert behind and was traveling through a new biome, the Eroded Badlands. According to the Piglin Brutes map, this was the same biome where the entrance to Mike's Fight Club could be found. The map also says you can find more of my Zozo videos by searching ZO in the YouTube search bar. You should try it out. I followed the directions on the map further into the Eroded Badlands, and I could see Mike's Fight Club in the distance. Just you wait, Mike. I'll fight you one of these days.
I heard that, Zozo.
Suddenly, Mike was right next to me, and he was looking as strong as ever.
You shouldn't have said that, Sparkplug. Now I'm gonna give you a taste of my super special punch, the Mike Spike.
Oh no, I forgot that today is one of those days.
Mike Spike!
He punched me, and my heart started to deplete. Thank goodness I was wearing diamond armor. I drew my diamond sword and swung at him, but the damage it did was really low.
You're still weak, kitty cat.
No way! Will I need a netherite sword to even stand a chance? I ran away from the fight, retracing my steps through the Eroded Badlands. I still wasn't strong enough to beat him. From day 75 to day 78, I followed the map home to my base and went directly into the bunker to work out. Somehow, I couldn't find the energy to train, probably because I was disappointed that I had to run away from Mike. Mike was the strongest in the world, and I still didn't have the netherite sword I would need to actually challenge him. From what he said before, even that might not be enough.
Cheer up, Zozo. You have our strength too, so don't give up.
It was Windcaller. He had come into the bunker to check on me and raise my spirits. Thanks, Windcaller. I'm feeling like I'm weak today, so I really needed to hear that.
Follow me. I'll show you something that might also help.
There was now a new watchtower at the front of the base where we could look out at the Baobab Savannah from. All of a sudden, I feel a whole lot better, Windcaller. Now I remember what I'm fighting for.
You are the champion, Electric Tiger Zozo. Don't forget it.
Now that I was feeling better, I went to go visit Fletcher. Hey there, Fletcher.
Zozo, I got you this special magic apple to help make you strong enough to face Mike.
Well, an apple a day, as they say. I scarfed down the apple and began to grow into an even bigger electric tiger with 60 hearts. In addition to bigger damage and more health, I could also perform a special whirlwind attack. Mike won't know what hit him. From day 79 to day 84, I was feeling strong and decided to go back to the Eroded Badlands. This time, there was no sign of Mike, so I fought some skeletons to test my newfound strength. I wanted to prove to myself that I had what it takes to become the strongest. A nearby weaponsmith saw me defeat those mobs and thought that I was pretty cool, so he offered to upgrade my weapons. This is my chance to get a netherite sword.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Just give me your diamond sword and your netherite ingots, and I'll take care of the rest.
I gave the weaponsmith what he needed and waited in anticipation for him to finish my super cool netherite sword. It didn't take him that long, and I could tell just by swinging it that this netherite sword was the most powerful weapon that I'd ever had. Thank you, weaponsmith. I promise to use what you've given me for the side of justice.
Go on and save the world. Every weaponsmith dreams of creating a hero's weapon.
From day 85 to day 89, I returned to the base to show the others that I had obtained the netherite sword and found that it was being attacked by whisperers.
So this is where you ran away to, coward? We're gonna make you feel real silly for leaving Mike in the middle of a fight.
I battled the whisperers with all my might, testing the edge of my netherite sword. These minions had given me trouble in the past, but now I was so much stronger than them that they were barely a threat. I easily defended the base and prevented any further damage to the structures.
Oh man, this guy is actually way too strong. Maybe I should leave this one to Mike. He'll know how to win.
Intimidated by my strength, the whisperers stopped fighting. It was now their turn to run away. Serves you right for trying to mess with my friends. You'll have to deal with this electric tiger now. I chased the whisperers through the Baobab Savannah until my base was far away. Never come back! A villager who saw me bravely face off against Mike's henchmen came over to cheer me on.
You're the electric tiger, the second strongest being in the world.
Soon to be the most strongest, or first strongest, whichever sounds better.
Do you think you can spare some of your strength and give me a hand building a bridge over the river?
Sure thing, villager. I used the materials the villager gave me to finish building the bridge across the river.
Thanks, Zozo. Only a truly strong hero could do something like that.
From day 90 to day 94, I continued onward across the desert and through the eroded Badlands until I saw on the map I was getting close to Mike's arena. I could see one of the Whisperers who had attacked my base lingering nearby, and I drew my netherite sword in preparation for a battle. I'm here to see Mike. I'm going to challenge him for the title of strongest being in the world.
Oh, no you didn't. You're gonna need to get this guy first. He's the second strongest in the whole world.
An armored pillager showed up, taking the place of the Whisperer as my opponent.
I've heard people say that you're the second strongest in the world. Not true, because that's me. I've never beaten Mike, but I'll beat anyone who isn't Mike.
You won't beat me. I'll take your title, then I'll take on Mike.
Then bring it on, Zozo the Electric Tiger.
The armored villager waited for me to make the first move, which I did, using my netherite sword. He blocked the attack and countered with a strike from his own weapon. I lost quite a few hearts and had to dodge back to avoid the worst of his attacks. I used my energy blast to keep him at a distance, but his armor was as tough as mine. You're pretty strong, pillager.
Are you ready to give up and run away?
No way. I'll never back down from a fight again. From day 95 to day 97, I continued to battle against the armored pillager, utilizing all my specially trained techniques to try and gain an advantage. Have another lightning strike.
I can handle your lightning strikes all the livelong day, Zozo.
We'll see about that. I circled around the armored pillager with my whirlwind attack and delivered sword strikes wherever I could. I was still having trouble cracking the second strongest fighter's armor, but I figured I could soften him up for a lightning strike if I just kept attacking. With my whirlwind active, I spun around and unleashed my lightning strike. With that attack, the pillager surrendered. The electric tiger defeated the armored pillager and became the true second strongest in the world.
No, I couldn't achieve my dream of becoming the strongest in the world.
Why did you want to become the strongest so bad? I'm doing it to protect my friends and myself from Mike.
It started that way for me too, but when I realized I would never win, I became his follower. All the people who believed in me before became sad and stopped being my friends, but they went on to form the Order of the Shield.
Wait, you were the original champion.
No, I was just the guy who tried to be a champion before there was a champion. You've got to be better than me, Zozo.
I will, armored pillager. I'll defeat Mike and become the strongest in the world, once and for all. On day 98, I went back to the base to tell everyone that I would soon be facing off against Mike for the ultimate title. I went to visit Windcaller first, who was standing at the top of the watchtower. Thanks to the strength you gave me at the start, I was able to become the champion that you always thought I could be.
It was like I said long ago. My strength was the foundation, but you built it into something better and made it your own.
Thank you for believing in me.
Here is a bit more of my strength in the form of a potion. Drink it before you go into battle.
Next, I met with Fletcher outside of the chicken farm. I wanted to assure him that once I was the strongest, I would use my strength to protect all of the biomes from evil.
Very soon, the world will be safe. I'm glad I was able to help your quest for strength, Zozo.
You gave me what I needed when I needed it most, and I'm so grateful that I was able to meet you.
Make the most of your magic powers. The special techniques will be the key to victory.
After Fletcher, there was only one last friend to thank, the fungus thrower, who was chilling in the party room. This room is the best room, other than a mushroom, of course. That's a fungus. I look forward to hanging out after I beat Mike once and for all. It'll be a big celebration. On day 99, I made my way back to the eroded Badlands and saw the first glimpses of Mike's base. I approached, and there were the Whisperers waiting to stand in the way. Move aside, small fry. I'm here for Mike. You guys don't need to be involved. The Whisperers bolted for the hills, and I ran straight into Mike's base. On day 100, I walked into Mike's fight club with my netherite sword drawn. Mike, I'm here to fight. The big golem himself, Mike, appeared before me in order to fight.
Zozo the Electric Tiger, you fought all the other strong people in the world, and now you think you can steal my crown.
I do. I'm gonna make sure that you are put down for the count.
Lots of people have said that to me before, and I've beaten them all. I didn't get to be the strongest because I made excuses. I just kept fighting and winning.
But you didn't fight the Whisperers when they started going after the Order of the Shield. You didn't want a champion to fight you.
I don't care what those weaklings do or what fights they get into. All that matters is the fight between me and you. That's how it's always been, destined champion. Let's do this in a place worthy of this showdown.
Mike left, and I ran after him. He turned into his fighting arena. I followed him in when he hit at the entrance and slammed his golem fist into my body. It was the Mike Spike, his signature opening move. I drew my netherite sword and dealt some real damage to him for the first time. I followed up with a whirlwind and a lightning strike. Mike threw me across the fight club. Then he jumped and slammed onto me, dealing a lot of damage. He tried to attack again, but I hit him with an energy blast. He caught him off guard, and I was able to land a bunch of other energy blasts after. Then I remembered to drink up the strength potion Windcaller gave me. I felt much stronger now. As we stood there, swinging away at each other, hit after hit, I was wearing the golem down. Eventually, one of us fell. Mike actually dropped. Yes, Zozo the Electric Tiger wins! I had completed the 100-day challenge to defeat the strongest being in the world. I had won! On day 1, I spawned in the desert as a baby snow golem. I was all alone, except for a honey golem who was much bigger than me. I wasn't sure why I was here, or why I was so little. Where are all the other snow golems? What am I doing out here where it's so hot and dry? Before the honey golem could answer me, a guster blew toward us. Who are you?
Who am I? I'm Gary the Guster, and there ain't a fella in the land who can take me and my Guster gang down. Just take a gander at what happens when you don't do what I say.
And with one attack, he destroyed the honey golem I spawned in next to. How could you do that? You monster!
Because I'm the baddest Guster around these parts. You got 100 days to rustle up 100 diamonds and bring the loot to me, or my gang and I will burn the nearest village to the ground, and you with it.
And with that threat, he disappeared, leaving me all alone. Oh no, I either need to gather Gary's ransom or defeat him. If I don't, there's gonna be trouble. But I'm gonna need to be a lot stronger before I can do that. On day 2, I started making my way through the desert toward the village. If they were in danger from Gary the Guster too, I needed to get there and warn them. Maybe they could help me, and we could keep each other safe. I realized I only had 5 hearts, so I would have to be careful on the way. As I was walking, a group of zombies appeared from out of a cave. What do you want?
Just keeping an eye on things for the boss. I don't see any diamonds. Maybe we ought to teach you a lesson in listening.
They attacked me, and I had nothing to fight back with. I was scared that they would take me down. I was way too small and weak to beat them right now. But just then, a bison ran up to me.
Howdy there, little snow golem. You're a long way from home.
I am, and I'm in danger.
Well, hop on my back and let's mosey on out of here. I can take us somewhere safe.
I hopped on the bison's back, and he carried me away from the zombies. Thank you. What's your name?
Iron. What's yours?
You can call me Zozo.
Mighty nice to meet you.
On day 3, Byron the Bison took me to his village. It was the same place I was trying to get to, so it all worked out pretty well. Except, of course, for the part where we had to all deal with Gary's evil plan. This is a nice village. Thank you for having me. Then, Byron took me to meet the mayor of the town. He was a golem like me, but he was an earth golem, not snow. Hello, Mr. Mayor.
Well, howdy there, little snow golem. What brings you to our town?
I quickly explained what I knew about Gary and his threat to destroy the village if I didn't bring him 100 diamonds.
That no-good scoundrel's been bothering us for some time now. Going on a few years. Maybe we can help each other out and bring him to justice once and for all.
I would love to help, but how?
Well, let's see. I reckon you'll need to make some tools, get started mining diamonds, and get a heck of a lot stronger too. We'll do whatever we can to help you do that. This town's plenty big enough for more kind-hearted folks after all. You can set up on the edge of town.
Byron and I started to leave, but the mayor had one more thing to say.
You know, this village needs a sheriff. I reckon you might just be the man for the job.
On days 4 and 5, I went out and punched some trees so I could gather enough wood to build a crafting bench. Then, I crafted some wooden tools. Once I had those, I could start gathering some stone. Hey, this is going pretty well so far. Once I had enough stone, I upgraded my tools from wood to stone ones, including a stone sword. I was ready to start building our base.
Say, Zozo, if you're fixing to be the sheriff, let's say we build you a sheriff station with a jail inside.
That's a perfect idea, Byron. We can use it as an armory too. It'll be the perfect place to help keep the village safe from Gary and his gang of goons. Then, I had a brilliant idea. Byron, every sheriff needs a deputy. Do you want the job?
Well, shucks, Zozo. I'd be honored.
With Byron chosen as my deputy, we got to work building our base, a couple of jail cells, and 2 rooms for us to sleep in. The mayor stopped by to admire our progress.
This looks mighty fine, boys. Here, Zozo. This should help you get started.
The mayor handed me a strong potion. I drank it and felt myself grow a little bit bigger, and I gained 2 hearts. On days 6 through 8, I explored the desert around the village, looking for more materials. While I was walking around, I saw a roadrunner being attacked by a nest of rattlesnakes. Hey, you leave her alone! I rushed at them with my stone sword and began to fight. They turned their attention away from the roadrunner and started attacking me instead. It was a tough fight, but after a long while, I knocked down the last rattlesnake.
Oh, thank you kindly.
The roadrunner ran over to me.
My name is Rhonda, and you're my hero.
Just doing my duty, ma'am. What are you doing all the way out here?
I got lost in the desert. I was looking for help getting back to my nest. It's in a cave, you see, but it isn't safe for me to go alone. My eggs are in there. I need to get to them before something terrible happens.
Well, that sounds like a job for the local sheriff. On days 9 and 10, Rhonda and I made our way to the cave where her nest was.
I wanted my nest to be out of the sun, and this cave used to be safe. But when people started mining in there, it woke something up. Something terrible. This is it. Please be careful, Sheriff Zozo.
I'll do my best. I drew my sword and crept into the cave.
What are you doing in my cave?
A werewolf jumped out of the shadows and roared at me. This cave belongs to more than just you.
This cave ain't big enough for the both of us.
He swiped at me with his claws and knocked me back into the wall of the cave. I dropped my sword, and when I ran to pick it up, he hit me again. Uh-oh, this guy is way too strong.
Get out now, or I'll finish you off.
I'll have to come back and face him again when I'm stronger. I need to go help Rhonda. I ran out of the cave, where Rhonda was waiting. I'm sorry, he's too strong. But please, come back to town with me. You can stay at my sheriff's station until we can come back. I'll help you get your eggs back, I promise. On days 11 and 12, I returned to my base with Rhonda. I built her a room, including a crafting bench and a chest.
Thank you for the help, Zozo. It means the world to me.
Of course, I'm happy to help. Now that we're safe, do you know anything about Gary the Guster?
Not too much, only that he's got a hankering for diamonds and power, and won't let anything stand in his way. He's hurt a lot of people, made himself a lot of enemies. If we all band together, maybe we can do something about him.
That's what I've been thinking too. Glad we're on the same team. After my chat with Rhonda, I went mining for some more materials. I found iron and coal too. I made a furnace and smelted the iron, then used it to craft some iron tools and boots. Best of all, I crafted an iron sword. Then, I built an armory where I could store all of my new tools. This base is coming together. We'll be able to take on Gary and his gang in no time. On days 13 to 15, I wanted to find a way to get stronger, so I talked to Byron the Bison for some advice.
Well, I reckon the best strength in the world is experience. You ought to go on a quest or two and get better at helping others out. Then you'll get stronger. Also, you'd best get yourself some armor for the job.
Thanks so much, Byron. I gathered silver and crafted myself some armor. Then I headed out to explore the forest. Now it's time to find a quest. But where is someone who I can help? I looked around, but couldn't see anyone that might have a quest for me. How was I supposed to get experience if no one needed me to do anything? Then, I saw a pumpkin boss shaking an apple tree. Hi there, do you need some help with the apples?
Hey, you're the sheriff trying to go up against Gary the Guster. Let me teach you a lesson.
He attacked me, but I was ready. I had my new armor to protect me. And I had my new sword, too. I dodged his attack and slashed at him, knocking him back. After a lot of tough back and forth, I was able to win. I did it! I did it! Then, I noticed he dropped something, a shed snakeskin. Hey, I bet I can use this to craft something. I took the snakeskin back to my base and crafted a vine lasso with it. Wow, I can use this to wrangle bad guys and bring them back to jail. On days 16 to 19, I decided to explore some more and see what I could find. I ended up coming across an abandoned mine and looked inside. There was a chest in there. I opened it and I found an old diary belonging to a miner that left it behind ages ago. Gary the Guster came through town again, telling us to give him diamonds. I heard a rumor that he's building a base not too far from here, but no one's been able to find it yet. I have my suspicions that it's out in the forest over yonder. Wow, so Gary's base must not be too far away. Maybe I can find it, but first, I'll have to get even stronger so I can defeat him. Before I could do anything else, I was attacked by a gang of Mandragora.
This is what happens when you go up against Gary the Guster.
But they were no match for my new armor and sword. Just like with the pumpkin boss before, I fought them hard and was able to defeat them.
As a few of them ran away, I yelled after them, "Tell Gary he won't be picking on people for much longer." On days 20 to 22, I traveled back to the village. When I got there, I saw some plague rats bothering some villagers. I fought them and took them out easily. Wow, I'm getting good at this. On the way back to the sheriff's station, I found some silver I could use to upgrade my gear and my armor. With that taken care of, I was feeling strong enough to go fight the werewolf and help Rhonda get back her nest.
You again? I thought I already taught you a lesson.
Well, I'm back, and I'm strong enough to fight you now. With my new armor and sword, I was able to hold my own against the werewolf. He knocked me back, but I didn't drop my sword, and I kept fighting. Then I pulled out my secret weapon, the vine lasso. I captured the werewolf in the lasso and started pulling him back to the jail. You're going to jail.
You ain't got what it takes to bring down Gary the Guster. He took out my whole gang, and I had to hide in those caves when he came to town. You go up against him, and you're toast.
On days 23 to 26, I threw the werewolf into one of the empty jail cells. Well, Rhonda, you can go back to the caves now. Your nest is safe, and your eggs are waiting for you.
Thank you so much, Zozo. I'll never forget what you did for me. And I'll be sure to come back and visit once my eggs have hatched.
I can't wait.
By the way, you should build a guard tower. It will help keep you safe here.
Rhonda was right. It would be a good idea to have a guard tower so we could keep a lookout. I started constructing one right away. When the guard tower was done, I realized I needed some ranged weapons. So I crafted some javelins too. I can really defend this place now. On days 27 to 31, I decided to travel to a snowy area to see if I could find some more snow golems like me. If I could, maybe they could help protect the village and take down Gary. I was enjoying the cold and looking around for some other snow golems when I saw some snow beasts. They looked lost, so I sent them back to my base, and they went off to find it. Next, I decided to gather some ice to take back to my base. If I had it there, I wouldn't feel so homesick as the only snow golem in the desert. Even if I didn't find any snow golems, it would make me feel much better. When I got back to the village, Mayor Earth Golem came up to me.
Sheriff Zozo, we need your help. Gary's gang came through town and kidnapped some of our villagers.
Oh no, of course I'll help.
And I'll come with you. What kind of mayor would I be if I didn't look out for my own people?
On days 32 to 35, the mayor and I went into the forest to find the kidnapped villagers and save them from Gary's gang. We spotted the horde of zombies and a bunch of villagers in cages. The zombies were laughing at them. Don't worry, everyone. You're safe now. We're coming to save you. I rushed at them with my sword drawn. The mayor followed me and tried to help fight too. One of the zombies knocked him down. Get away from him! I tried to stop them from hurting him, but the zombies destroyed the mayor. No! I swore I'd have revenge. In honor of the fallen mayor, I defeated the rest of the zombies and freed the villagers. But now the town is without a mayor. We need someone to lead the villagers. On days 36 to 39, I set off in search of a new mayor for the village. We need someone tough to help protect the villagers from Gary. I know, I'll go into the mountains. Only tough people can survive up there. So I went to the mountains and looked around. Is there anyone here who can be a mayor?
Are you looking for help?
I looked and saw Zeus, the king of Olympus, standing on top of a mountain. Yes, I am.
Well, I need help with something. If you can help me, I can be the mayor in return.
What is it?
A group of gremlins stole my treasured guitar. Jamming on that guitar was the only way to pass the time up here on this boring old mountain. Please, get it back for me.
It was a small price to pay to find a new, powerful mayor. I found the gremlins nearby, smashing the guitar into some rocks. Hey, that's not what rock music means. I fought off the gremlins and got the guitar back. Here you go, Zeus. Or should I say, Mayor Zeus.
Thank you. I'd be happy to be the mayor if the villagers are all as kind as you.
They are. We're trying to defeat Gary the Guster.
Ah, Gary. He's asking for diamonds, I bet. Well, I can tell you where a very good diamond mine is, if you want.
Yes, please. So Zeus gave me directions to the diamond mine. Things were really starting to come together. One way or another, I'd keep the village safe. On days 40 to 43, I returned home to the village and dropped off Mayor Zeus at his new house. Back at the sheriff's station, I decided to spiff up the place. I added torches and bookshelves for extra light and to give me and Deputy Byron something to read on our downtime. Once I was done, I checked in with Byron to see what he thought.
Say, this looks great, Sheriff. But with so much new danger, we need more deputies. Let's make a deputies wanted sign.
Great idea! I added a sign outside the station. New deputies wanted. and pretty soon, villagers started showing up to apply for the job. 6 new deputies joined. I built a barracks onto the base with bunk beds, so they would all have a place to sleep. Gary the Guster won't know what hit him when we take him on. One of the snow beasts came to find me while I was working.
We heard a rumor about an ice cave where another snow golem is living. You should check it out and see if he can help us.
Wow, thank you! Another snow golem. It almost sounded too good to be true. On days 44 to 49, I journeyed to the ice cave to search for the other snow golem. When I got there, I couldn't see anyone at first, but then I saw a shadow in the cave. Hello? I walked toward the opening of the cave, but Gary the Guster appeared.
Yeehaw! I knew you'd fall for my trap. I hear you've been rustling up a team to try and beat me. Well, I can't have that.
You're such a bully, making people get diamonds for you. Why do you even need so many anyway?
You sure do ask a lot of questions, Sheriff. I'll have you know it's my dream to live in a mansion made out of nothing but diamonds. I don't care how many towns I have to destroy to get them, neither.
That's terrible.
Never said I was nice. Now I gotta mosey on back to my diamonds, but I'm not letting you go that easy. Alpha Coyote, get him!
Gary whooshed away, and in his place, there was an Alpha Coyote. He was pretty big and strong too, but I knew I could take him. I drew my sword and got ready for a fight. On days 50 to 53, I fought hard against the Alpha Coyote.
You might as well give up now. I'm so much bigger than you.
You may be big, but I'm brave and strong, and I have the support of my friends to keep me from giving up. With a decisive strike from my sword, I defeated the Alpha Coyote. I did it! I won! Well, I won this battle. There's more to come. Hey, wait, what's this? I looked on the ground where the Alpha Coyote fell at the end of our fight. There was a journal. Hey, this says property of Gary the Guster inside. It must belong to him.
Dear Diary, I built the best dang hideout this Wild West has ever seen. It's so sparkly, made up of all those diamonds I took from the villagers. And no one will find me here between the 2 tallest mountains in the region. They'll never get rid of Gary the Guster and his gang of goons.
Hey, I know where those mountains are. When the time comes, I'll be able to find Gary's base after all. On days 54 to 57, I ventured deeper into the ice caverns. I wasn't going to give up my search for another snow golem now. I had to keep looking and see if there was really someone here, or if it was all just one of Gary's traps. In the distance, I could see the light of a fire. There was someone here. As I got closer, I could see that some of the zombies from the Guster gang of goons were gathered around the fire, and they had a snow golem with them. Oh no, I have to help him escape. I stayed back and out of sight and threw one of my javelins at the zombies. I had the element of surprise, and they scattered when it hit. Take that, you undead outlaws!
Hey, where'd you come from? This is our hideout and you're trespassing.
No, you're the ones who are trespassing. Instead of getting into an argument with them, I decided to get right to the fighting instead. I rushed in with my sword and fought them with everything I had.
Quick, let's get out of here.
The zombies ran out of the caverns, leaving me with the snow golem. I'll get you out of here.
Not so fast.
I turned around, and there was an axe sticks.
You're not taking this prisoner without a fight, unless you've got those 100 diamonds for Gary.
You'll never get those diamonds from me. I took axe sticks down and let the snow golem free.
Hey, look!
Oh, it's a power potion. I drank it and grew bigger, and I gained 2 more hearts. Wow, that's amazing!
Thank you so much for letting me go. Gary has been taking out all of the golems, so there will be no one left to protect the villagers. I was so scared that I was the only one left.
Well, now you know you're not alone. Come back to my base with me. We've got a whole bunch of people to help. Gary won't get away with it this time. On days 58 to 62, I worked on improving things at the base. The sheriff's station was pretty great, but it could still get even better. The villagers had all the food we could need, but we needed to make way more tools and weapons. I expanded the crafting area and the armory, so we'd have lots of space for more equipment. Then I headed off to the area Zeus told me about, where I could find lots of diamonds. I went down into the mine there, and sure enough, there they were! Yes. I used my iron pickaxe to mine the diamonds, and took them back to the base. I used all those diamonds to make diamond armor, a pickaxe, and a sword. Next, I thought about how I might need to gather extra food while traveling to new places. A fishing rod could help me catch fish on the go, so I crafted a fishing rod to help me, in case I ever needed it. On days 63 to 66, Mayor Zeus came to visit me at the sheriff's station. What can I do for you, Mayor?
Did you get a chance to check out the diamond cave I told you about?
I did, thank you. There were lots of diamonds there. I used them to upgrade my gear though.
That's okay. I thought you might need to do that. I wanted to tell you that I heard about another cave with lots of diamonds to mine.
Really? Thank you. That's great news.
Happy to help. I'll keep an ear out for more diamond news too.
I really missed my old friend Mayor Earth Golem, but Zeus was doing his legacy proud and seemed to really care about the village. I set off to the new cave to mine for more diamonds. Inside, I saw a group of little Kados. I could hear them whispering to each other.
I'm telling you, the boss is out there somewhere.
Boss? Are they talking about Gary the Guster?
He's a werewolf. He's tough.
Not as tough as Gary. There's no way he survived that attack. We're doomed. We'll be next.
Wait, these must be members of the werewolf's old gang. I wonder if they'll try to fight me.
Hey, are you the sheriff?
Why do you want to know?
We hear you're trying to fight Gary the Guster, and we want to help.
Really? That would be great.
If you can help us rescue more of our old gang, we promise to all help you out. They're in an underground base deep in these caves.
You got it. Go back to my base at the sheriff's station, and I'll come meet you when I've rescued your buddies. Also, your old leader's there in jail. Sorry about that. On days 67 to 70, I traveled deeper into the caves in search of the underground base. If I could find more of the werewolf's gang, that would be even more deputies to fight with me. Look at me, turning outlaws into good guys. Mayor Earth Golem would be so proud of what a great sheriff I'm becoming. Before I could celebrate my progress anymore though, I spotted a Nightwalker mage holding another group of little Kados prisoner. Those must be the rest of the gang they were talking about. How can I get them out of here? He looks pretty dangerous. I don't know if I can fight him and make it out. I started looking around for a way to sneak by the Nightwalker mage, but I couldn't find anything. I guess I'll have to be brave and try to fight him, even though I'm scared. I thought about my friends and how they'd all faced so much danger with me so far. If they could do it, so could I. I attacked the Nightwalker mage and he flew into the air to dodge my attack. This looks like a job for my vine lasso. I tossed it at the Nightwalker mage and caught him. I pulled him back down to the ground, and while he was trapped, I attacked him with my sword. He broke free, but not before I got a good hit in. The Nightwalker mage teleported behind me, but I spun around and got him again. It was a pretty intense battle, but eventually I was able to win with the help of my vine lasso and my shiny new diamond sword.
Thank you, stranger.
I'm no stranger. I'm the sheriff.
Oh no, are we under arrest?
No, I'm here to save you. Go back to my base at the sheriff's station. Your friends will be there, and you'll see that everything is going to be okay. On days 71 to 74, I traveled to a river to try out some fishing. I hadn't done it before, and I wanted to get good at it in case I needed to catch a fish in a hurry. As I was walking along the river, I saw a strange message on the ground. If you're enjoying this adventure, find more Zozo videos by searching for ZO, and don't forget to like and subscribe. That's pretty weird. Anyway, back to fishing. I caught a few fish, and I was feeling pretty good about myself. But then, Gary the Guster showed up.
Sheriff fishing on the job, eh? Should be out there mining for my diamonds if you want that village of yours to survive.
Why can't you just leave us alone?
I will, once you give me what I want.
That's not fair.
Life ain't fair.
We rushed at each other, and I pulled out my sword and my vine lasso.
You think you can lasso me like cattle? I'm no cowboy.
I tried my best, but it wasn't enough to defeat him. I didn't want to run, but I needed to stay alive to get stronger and to help my friends. So I turned and I ran all the way back to my base. Next time, I'll be ready. On days 75 to 78, I got to work on my base again. Now that I know how strong Gary is, after trying to fight him again, I know we need to make the base even better. Byron had a great idea for how to improve it.
What if we build an underground bunker? Somewhere we can hide out if we need to, if he comes to attack us before we're ready.
Perfect! I got to work building the bunker, and before long, we had a great big underground hideout to go to if Gary attacked before I was strong enough to beat him. After I was done, some of the little Kados from the werewolf's gang came up to me with a book.
It's the magic book to help you get bigger and stronger.
Wow, thank you! I tried some of the magic from the book, and sure enough, I grew bigger and gained more hearts. What an amazing gift! They really are good guys after all. On days 79 to 84, I decided to test my new strength on some mobs. I went out into the desert with my sword and my lasso and found some skeletons to fight. Taste the lasso, boneheads! I rounded them up and took them all out. After I defeated the last of the skeletons, a desert lord came up to me. Is he going to try and fight me too? But to my surprise, he gave me a gift instead.
Thank you for getting rid of the skeletons. They've been making so much trouble here. As the lord of this desert, I present you with this sharpness enchantment, which will increase the power of your sword.
Awesome! So now I'm stronger, and my sword is stronger too. This is great! On days 85 to 89, I came back to the base, only to find it under attack by an army of zombies. Of course, this has got to be the work of Gary the Guster. There were so many of them, it would be dangerous to get close. Thankfully, I had some of the javelins I made earlier. You're about to find out why you don't mess with the sheriff, zombies. I threw javelin after javelin until I had the zombie gang on the run. With the help of the rest of my deputies, we were able to run the undead outlaws out of town. But it wasn't just my base they were interfering with. The zombies were causing trouble all over town while I was gone. One of the villagers ran over to me and told me that while the zombies were ransacking the town, they took one of his chickens. Don't worry, villager, I'll have that chicken back to you safe and sound. I chased the remaining zombies out into the woods, and I saw the chicken running along with them. That must be the villager's chicken. But the zombies had such a head start now. I didn't know if I could catch up to them in time. Wait, the javelins can come in handy here too. With a few well-placed throws, those zombies were done for, and the chicken was free. Come on, little chicken, let's get you back to your owner. I brought the chicken back to his owner, who was so happy to see him. The villager thanked me for getting his chicken back, and felt terrible that he didn't have anything to give me as a reward. Don't worry about it. The only reward I need is knowing I did a job well done. On days 90 to 94, I followed the trail of zombie footprints and destruction until I finally found a cave with a sign out front. Get out of these parts or face the wrath of the Guster Gang. This has gotta be it, their secret hideout. I better check it out. I snuck into the cave and saw that it was empty, except for one strange figure standing there, like he was waiting for me. Who are you?
I'm the Soul Leader, and I'm here to make sure you don't mess with the boss's plans no more.
Why would you work for him? What he's doing is wrong. He's hurting so many people, all because he's greedy.
Nothing wrong with a little greed. It's a dog-eat-dog world, Sheriff. We're all just trying to get fed.
But isn't it better to be nice, to help others, and know that they'll help you in return?
What kind of sucker helps people? That ain't this kind of town.
But it could be.
Enough chatter. Turn and draw your weapon, Sheriff.
I drew my sword and my vine lasso, ready for a fight. After all of my recent experience, I was feeling pretty good about it. But when the Soul Eater rushed at me, I knew I was wrong. This wasn't an ordinary fight. He was incredibly fast and strong. Definitely the toughest fighter of the Guster Gang I had met so far. I didn't have much time. I had to think fast. I ran backwards away from him and pulled out a javelin. Let's finish this! On days 95 and 97, I continued battling the Soul Eater in the Guster Gang's secret cave hideout. It was pretty close, but putting some space between us and throwing a javelin helped me to do some crucial extra damage and get the advantage I needed. While the Soul Eater was recovering, I tied him up in my lasso and rushed him with my sword.
Oh, this can't happen. You're weak.
I'm strong now. With the Soul Eater beaten and not going anywhere, I decided to look around the hideout for anything I could use. Hey, a battle axe! Awesome! You're coming with me. I turned back to the Soul Eater. And so are you. Let's get you back to the jail and you can start talking. I took the Soul Eater back to the sheriff's station and put him in the other cell there. Tell me what you know about Gary the Guster.
Fine. I can draw you a map to the diamond castle he's building. Is that what you want?
Yeah, that would be great.
Then you'll let me go?
Only if you promise to try being a good guy.
If it gets me out of here, then sure. Here, Sheriff. No tricks. It's real.
Now I knew exactly where to go to get Gary once and for all. On day 98, after I got the map from the Soul Eater, I decided to walk around my base and check in on everything. All my new deputies were doing great, settling into their duties. As I was seeing what the deputies were doing, I heard someone come to the door. It was Rhonda, and she had a bunch of baby roadrunners with her.
Children, this here is Sheriff Zozo. He helped me get back to you when you were still eggs in the nest. I owe him a lot of thanks.
Oh, Rhonda, I'm so glad you and your babies are doing well.
You're a hero, Sheriff Zozo. Never forget that.
Next, Byron came to talk to me.
Sheriff, it's been an honor to be your deputy. Thank you for giving this old bison a chance to help save my village. Take this potion of strength as a token of my appreciation.
Thank you so much, Deputy Byron. Mayor Zeus stopped by to see me next.
I never thought I'd be a mayor, but you believed in me. I believe in you too, Zozo. Don't forget, fellows like Gary are driven by greed and nothing else. Friendship and goodness are so much stronger, and they'll win in the end, every time. Remember that.
It seemed like everyone believed in me, and with amazing friends like these in my corner, Gary wouldn't stand a chance. On day 99, I followed the map I got from the Soul Eater. It was now or never, with only one more day left before Gary would come to collect his ransom. There was no way I was going to let him destroy the village. As I was walking there, a pigeon flew by overhead.
You can do it, Zozo!
Thank you, pigeon. I reached a massive castle made of diamonds, surrounded by zombies and skeletons. He has this many diamonds already, and he wants even more? This guy's the worst. There were so many enemies outside, I wasn't sure if I could take them all on by myself. But then, my trusty deputy Byron the Bison showed up.
Didn't think I'd let you do this without your first deputy, your right-hand man, did you?
Day 100, Byron and I fought our way through the zombies and skeletons and headed into the Diamond Castle. There were so many of them, it was a miracle we got through. How can this guy afford to pay all these goons and build a Diamond Castle?
We've got to keep fighting, Zozo. We're almost there.
You're right, Byron. We can do this. Inside, Gary the Guster was sitting on top of a diamond throne.
Well, well, well. Look what the cat dragged in.
We're here to end this, Gary. Your reign of terror is over.
Well, ain't that a hoot? Listen, little sheriff, you can't fight the wind. I'm a force of nature, and I ain't going nowhere.
Too bad. We're here to shut you down. I pulled out my trusty vine lasso and got ready to wrangle Gary. But before I could, he threw sand in my eyes and I dropped it. I couldn't see what I was doing.
I'll be your eyes, Zozo. Dodge to the left. He's gonna attack.
I listened to Byron and dodged. It helped me avoid Gary's hit.
Hey, that's cheating.
Blinding people before a fight is cheating, Gary. And Gary didn't let up. I could feel the force of his mighty winds trying to blow me away. But Byron was still there to help.
Rush at him with your sword. Straight forward.
You can't do this dance forever, cowboy.
I don't have to.
What in tarnation?
I rushed at Gary with my sword, and Byron ran at him too. Together, we dealt one huge blow, and Gary dissolved. He was gone. Is it really over?
It's really over. Let's say you and I get back to the town and rustle up some celebratory grub.
That sounds good to me.
You make a darn good sheriff, Zozo.
And thanks to us, Gary the Guster and the Guster Gang would never hassle another town again. On day 1, I spawned in as Vegeta. Tremble before the Prince of all Saiyans. What? Only 5 hearts? That doesn't make sense. Isn't he supposed to be super powerful? I guess I'm gonna have to do some serious training if I want to live up to the real Vegeta's reputation. Where's an old martial master when you need him? Is that one over there? He looks like he might know some wisdom. It's me, Zozo. I'm looking for someone to train me. Are you worthy to train a Saiyan?
No, I am not worthy to train a Saiyan. But I am worthy to capture one and make him fight to his doom.
This is no martial arts master. He's a wicked wizard, and he's attacking me with magic.
You're mine, Zozo. I've captured warriors far more capable than you.
Not today, wizard. Nowhere to run. I've got to jump off this cliff to get away. Hopefully I can fly. Vegeta can fly in the show, so why not? Here goes everything. Uh-oh, I can't fly yet. Ah, I'm falling. I guess Vegeta doesn't take fall damage. Must be the ability I start with. It'll probably upgrade to flying later. That wizard said something about capturing Saiyans. Maybe he has some of my friends, or even Goku. But Goku isn't Vegeta's friend. He's more like a rival. Every tough guy needs a good rival, and I guess for now I'll have to settle for that wizard guy. I'll rest at the bottom of this cliff until morning. On day 2, I start punching trees and rocks, and get the supplies to make my wooden pickaxe. I think I'll build my base somewhere away from this cliff, since I don't want to run into the wizard again before I've gotten stronger. I'll need wide open spaces to fire my ki blast, so this rocky desert will do nicely. There are some nasty coyotes here, but I'm a Saiyan. I can beat a few coyotes barehanded. Confusing me for just another helpless villager, the coyotes attacked, but I was ready. It looks like I have some buffs to my punching damage, probably from being a martial artist. That'll come in handy. Get out of here, coyotes. This is my turf.
Okay, we're going. You don't need to be such a jerk about it.
You should have known who you were messing with. With my pickaxe, I start mining for sandstone. That will be the main material that I use when making my base. At least until I can go underground and get some more durable blocks. There are some cactus blocks here too, but I don't have any armor or weapons, so I'm just gonna leave them alone for now. If I decide later that I want green dye, then I'll be sure to start farming those cactus blocks. I end the day by building a fence around where I want the base to be, and a tiny tent to sleep in. When it's done, this will be the perfect gym to train as a Super Saiyan warrior. On day 3, I travel to a nearby forest to find some more wood for my fences. If there's a river I can redirect into the desert, that'll also be a good future project. Of course, I wouldn't be Vegeta if I wasn't also looking for a fight. Saiyans get stronger the more they battle tough enemies after all. That giant tarantula should make for a worthy opponent. Spiders give me the creeps, but Vegeta isn't afraid of anything. Let's go, tarantula. I started punching and doing some damage, but I was also losing too many hearts too quickly. Oh no, he's biting me. Gotta run. Didn't think a spider would be giving me so much trouble. But is it really fair that he has 6 more arms than me? While I was escaping from the tarantula, I found that there was an entire monkey caught in its web. Monkeys are like distant cousins to Saiyans, so of course I have to help him. I punch away the webs and set that monkey free. Be free, monkey. Oh, I guess he has something to say. What's up, new monkey friend?
Thank you for releasing me. My name is Stu, and I was chased here by an evil wizard.
I'm Zozo. I've seen that wizard too. Why was he after you?
He thought I was a Saiyan, so he tried to kidnap me.
Well, you're safe now. Why don't you come back to my base with me?
Sure, but only if you've got bananas. Stu the monkey is bananas about bananas.
On days 4 to 5, I made the fence surrounding my base bigger in order to make space to build a house for Stu. Full of bananas, obviously.
Yeah, baby. Stu loves bananas.
That should keep him entertained, while the real Saiyan focuses on important things, like getting so strong that I can totally send that wizard flying into space when I next see him. The problem is, a bigger base meant that I was much closer to the cactus blocks, and the cactoids were starting to become aggressive. And I don't have enough buckets of water to tame them off. Back off, you greedy cactoids! The fence can keep the little ones out, but when night comes, the local cactyrant is going to transform and attack me. Those guys are no joke, and they attack at night when the sun can't make me stronger. Or is it just Goku that powers up with the sun? Either way, those creepy cactus creatures have the advantage, unless I take my arsenal up a notch. I have until night falls to craft a weapon from the materials I've mined. Nobody wants to fight a cactyrant barehanded after all, damage buffs or not. There's plenty of stone around, so I use some stone blocks and a stick to make a stone sword and some tools. I wait until it gets dark, and then I go out and face the cactyrant. I defeat him using my new weapon. He drops boots of swiftness. Wow, that's unexpected. Now I can run around at high speeds with the best of them. Bet that evil wizard would never see this coming. Woohoo! If only I knew where I was going. On days 6 to 8, I'm deep in the desert gathering up sand to craft some pockets of sand. Vegeta doesn't always fight fair, so I want to be able to throw sand at my enemies, and I might need to, because here comes that evil wizard from earlier, and it looks like he's riding on a go-kart.
There you are, Saiyan. This time you won't get away.
You'll never capture the Prince of Saiyans. But the scary thing is, he actually might. No matter how fast I try to run with my boots of swiftness, it's like he's always catching up to me.
I told you there'd be no escape this time.
That vehicle is really fast, so I have to lead him to the cactus patch where he has to drive more carefully.
You think some puny cactuses will stop me, Zozo?
The plural is cacti, actually, Dark Wizard. Maybe you need to go back to school.
I'm evil. I don't have to get things right. I do things wrong on purpose.
He throws a spell at me from long range, and now I'm taking damage. I hide behind a tall cactus, then I throw a pocket of sand at him. Yes, it looks like that threw off his steering and made him stop the go-kart.
Well, I'm not going to drive when I can't see. That's just basic road safety.
The effect will wear off soon, so I'm going to get out of here. Thank goodness he doesn't know about my base. On days 9 to 10, I still don't know why that wizard wants to capture me. How can I be the Prince of all Saiyans when I'm afraid to fight the first guy I met in the world? Stu thinks I'm being too down on myself.
Don't worry, Zozo. You're doing a lot better than I could. You saved me from that spider, and I'm sure you'll save us both from that wizard too.
Well, maybe, but I think I should build a statue to get my mind off of things.
Get your mind off of things like being afraid you won't defeat the Dark Wizard forever and all time?
You're not helping me out, Stu.
Sorry. Stu does believe in you, though.
I think I'll build a statue of Vegeta's father, King Vegeta. That way I can show everyone who comes to my base how powerful the Saiyan people once were. It might encourage me too, who knows? But this won't be just any statue. The King of Saiyans needs a huge statue made out of strong material. I better start mining stone and gathering all the materials in my base. And who knows, maybe all this mining will help make me stronger too. It's good exercise. I'm also going to get a source of water in the base by redirecting a nearby river. My Saiyan fists are super strong, so these blocks are like nothing to me. I also made myself a bigger place to live and constructed a house out of sandstone. And now that I have more water in the base, I can start taming the nearby cactoids with buckets of it. You nerds work for me now. On days 11 to 12, a Viking villager arrived outside my base with a story to tell. He had apparently traveled a long way seeking my base.
You must be the Saiyan I've heard about. I am known as Charles, and my people are the Vikings. Days ago, I escaped from a terrible place where the Dark Wizard Baraka is making all the greatest warriors in the land fight until only one remains. He continues to gather the mightiest fighters he can find and pit them against each other.
Why is he doing that?
Who knows? Before it was my turn to fight, I ran away as fast as I could. Now I have come to you with a warning. Baraka will stop at nothing to capture you. With a true Saiyan in his collection, he'd be able to make the battles even more violent.
So that's where all the strong people are hiding? Interesting.
It's strange. There was another one like you there, except he wore robes of orange.
Wait, Goku is there? But he's my tough guy rival. No one gets to defeat him until I defeat him.
I guess you'd better start training then.
For now, I'll still avoid getting captured, but it sounds like the wizard is holding a tournament for powerful fighters. I better hope I can qualify. In the meantime, how about we get you some water, Charles? You look exhausted after all that.
Thank you, Zozo. It seems you truly are the hero people say you are.
On days 13 to 15, I train non-stop to make myself even stronger, because that is what a Z-fighter does when push comes to shove. Cutting down some of the cactuses is great training for swordsmanship. I can't just rely on my fists if I want to win this thing. And I also can't let my opponent look down on the Prince of Saiyans, so I go back to that giant tarantula and challenge it to a rematch. This time, I'm armed and ready. Bring it on, you 8-legged freak. I start the fight by throwing a sand pocket, and then I run in, swinging my sword. I'm doing a lot more damage now, and my ki blast is also very helpful. Not so tough now, are you, Spidey? It tries to trap me in a web, but my sword can cut straight through like it's no problem. The bigger they come, the harder they fall. This spider is toast. Whoa, I feel like my power level is rising. This is gonna be good. I've become Super Saiyan, with 15 hearts and way stronger attacks. Tremble before me. I'm the legend that all of my enemies of the Saiyans fear. I know that Vegeta can still get a lot stronger than this, but the change in appearance shows I've made some real progress towards my goal. I'm going to prove that I'm the strongest warrior in the world. Even Goku won't be able to defeat me when I'm fully leveled up. On days 16 to 19, I dig deep into the mine in search of materials. If I can get my hands on some metal, I'll be able to have better gear to match my brand new Super Saiyan form. It feels good to be a legend. The way forward is infested with skeletons, so it looks like I'll have to take them down first. Out of my way, skeletons. You're all just jealous that you don't have muscles like Vegeta. I guess that really struck a nerve with the leader of the skeleton horde.
You think you can come in here and make fun of us, Zozo? We're working for the Dark Wizard, and he sent us here to capture you.
Well, tell him he should have sent better. Or don't, because I'm sending you back to oblivion. The skeletons that charged me directly were easy enough to deal with, but those archers were always a pain. It's a good thing that I have Ki Blast to return fire. No bones about it. You guys are done for. I take out the ones at close range and then mop up the rest. But it looks like their leader got away. He's probably going to tell the Dark Wizard that I'm a force to be reckoned with.
You haven't seen the last of me, Zozo. I'll be back.
Now it's time to give my armor an upgrade to full iron. While I'm at it, I'll craft an iron sword and iron pickaxe too. Iron everything. Oh, the irony. On days 20 to 22, I was surprised to see Charles the Viking return to the base. What's going on?
Be careful, Zozo. Baraka somehow found out where I was, and now he's followed me here to the base.
Get inside. I'll handle this. Charles went inside the base. I went to go face the Dark Wizard Baraka alone. He was waiting just outside. I'm ready for you this time, Dark Wizard. Show me what you've got.
Foolish Saiyan. You are light years away from being able to defeat me.
We'll see about that. I threw a sand pocket at Baraka to blind him, then followed up with a Ki Blast shot. To my surprise, he wasn't there. He was right behind me instead.
You've met the Viking, so you know why I'm here. You know about the battle to find out who's the strongest fighter in the world.
I swung my iron sword at him, but he avoided it.
Will you accept my challenge?
Oh, so now you're giving me the choice.
It's because you've grown a bit stronger, Zozo. If I fought you now, I couldn't go easy on you.
Is that right? I'm not afraid. Bring it on. I threw another pocket of sand at the Dark Wizard, and this time he was blinded. I followed up with a few powerful strikes from my sword. Yeah, I really got him.
That's enough. Don't make me destroy you, Saiyan.
The wizard summoned an explosive block of TNT. I ran for cover as it exploded. When I looked back over, he was gone. Was he really holding back, or just afraid of what the Prince of Saiyans could do? Either way, I would happily take him on again and find out. On days 23 to 26, I was finally able to start farming the cactoids and cactyrants for materials. And this is the fruit of my labor. No, not the prickly pears, even though they did drop a lot of those. Using the thorns that the cactyrant dropped, and with a little bit of crafting, I can make a thorn shooter. Yes. Looks like building a training center in the middle of the desert has its perks. This new thorn shooter will be my ranged weapon of choice. I don't know what kind of totally crazy warriors I'll be facing when, and if I take the Dark Wizard up on his challenge, but it'll be good to have some variety in my attack options.
Stu thinks that thorn shooter is really cool. I'm impressed.
Thanks, Stu. Let's go test out this weapon in the desert. Who knows? Maybe we'll even find some strong enemies to defeat. Me and Stu headed out to the desert and made a few targets out of sandstone. They'd be a perfect way to focus my shooting skills. Bam! Bam! Look at those targets go down. This thorn shooter is so powerful.
Hey, can Stu try that thorn shooter? I've got a score to settle with another monkey back in the forest.
Yeah, maybe I should keep it for now, Stu. I feel like things are about to get even crazier. And if you'd like to find more of my videos, you should like, subscribe, and type ZOZO in the search bar. It never fails. On days 27 to 31, I start to add some of the more durable material to the statue of King Vegeta. I want to make sure his armor is absolutely perfect. For the blue parts of the armor, I've got to get my hands on some diamonds. The that's a really rare material, so it looks like it's time to go underground. Stu, hold down the fort while I'm away.
You can count on Stu. It's not like I'll monkey around while you're away.
I venture down into the underground, farther than I've ever gone before, until I am greeted by the bright light of orange lava. Somewhere in these lava caves, I should be able to find a vein of diamond. It looks like a couple of magma cubes don't appreciate me trespassing down here. If the cactus blocks damage me when I touch them, there's no way these things don't. The last thing I want is to touch any kind of magma in a place like this. Gotta put my thorn shooter skills to the test and take them out at a distance. Magma cubes always split into smaller magma cubes when they take hits, so I won't keep moving until they are completely gone. My key blast area attack helps with that. Just past the area where I thought the magma cubes... Wait, where are the diamonds? Huh? No diamonds down here. Well, then I guess I'm gonna need to find another way to get the blue for the King Vegeta statue's armor. Wait, I have a plan. If I mix sand, gravel, and some blue dye together, I can make blue concrete blocks. That'll do just fine for now. On days 32 to 35, I felt tired from all the farming and training I did, so I couldn't access my Super Saiyan form. I'll have to rest soon, but for now, I received another visit from my old nemesis, the skeleton that ran away from me in the mines. Still working for the Dark Wizard, I see.
You're gonna get it now, Zozo. I brought the Desert Lord with me, and he doesn't take too kindly to some Saiyan wannabe building bases in his desert.
Well, too bad. I am the Prince of Saiyans, and I don't take orders from the likes of you guys.
Then I guess we'll have to fight you.
The Desert Lord ran at me. I won't lie, he was big, and I felt a little intimidated. Thankfully, I didn't have to fight him with my sword. I was prepared for a battle, and my thorn shooter had full ammunition. Eat my thorns, Desert Lord.
No way! You've got a thorn shooter. No fair. Let's mosey on out of here.
Cowards! The skeleton and the Desert Lord ran away. Hopefully they won't be back again. It looks like some of the other mobs have returned as well. The gang of coyotes are back. Didn't I already teach you guys a lesson?
We know, Zozo, you're very strong, but that's why we need your help.
You coyotes need my help?
Yes, our friend the tribal gremlin was taken by the Dark Wizard's second-in-command, the champion Colossus. He's holding him in his fortress until the Dark Wizard wants him to fight.
You took some gremlin before he got to me? I guess I'm going to have to see this for myself. Your friend is as good as rescued. On days 36 to 39, I set off to go save the tribal gremlin from the champion Colossus. Those coyotes are going to owe me one. Whoa, is that the champion Colossus's base up there on that hill? I really need to start expanding my base if I want it to look like that. He had a pair of iron golems guarding the gate, and there were gargoyles on the rooftop. I don't know what I was expecting from the Dark Wizard's henchman, but this guy must be really serious. I can't just fight my way in there. I'd be totally outnumbered. I'm going to need a solid plan if I want to get in there and save the coyote's friend. I made my way around the entire mountain, searching for any less guarded areas that I can sneak into. On the far side of the fortress is a tunnel, but I'll still need to avoid those gargoyles that are flying around on patrol. I guess I'll have to use a frontiersman's cap to engage stealth mode. Sorry, raccoons, your sacrifice will not be soon forgotten. I'll need your tails to make the cap, and if I can use this to free the tribal gremlin, it'll all be worth it. But what if something even scarier is waiting for me down in the tunnel? Wait, I said earlier Vegeta isn't afraid of anything. I need to be courageous. The tribal gremlin and all the coyotes depend on me. Tomorrow, it's go time. On days 40 to 43, I'm sneaking through the fortress and avoiding detection from the mobs that the champion Colossus has been using to guard this place. I'm still not scared, obviously, but if they know I'm here, they might suspect the tribal gremlin of planning an escape and do something to hurt him. The coyotes would never let me live that one down. Using the thorn shooter, I can pick the mobs off from a distance without them ever knowing I was there. As long as I'm doing it one by one, of course. First, I take out a couple gargoyles. Then, I finish off the iron golem, guarding the entrance to the fortress's dungeon. I've gotta be careful though, because even though these guards are nothing to worry about, the champion Colossus is somewhere in this place, and he has to be almost as strong as the Dark Wizard. After a whole lot of sneaking about, I find my way to the tribal gremlin cell. Hey, gremlin, up and at them! The coyotes sent me here to rescue you.
Ah, good. I was getting tired of waiting for a good fight. Let's get out of here.
You say that like you could have left at any time.
I've never slept in a fortress before. It was kinda cool, honestly.
Well, I'm building the ultimate training gym out in the desert. If you need a better place to crash, you should stay at my base. The tribal gremlin seems sure of himself. Either way, we make tracks and find our way back to the coyotes.
Thanks, Zozo.
On days 44 to 49, I continue crafting more blue concrete for the statue of King Vegeta. He is going to look so regal. It'll be the centerpiece of my base when it's finally finished, but a job this big requires the help of many friends. I had Stu gather fur from the forest that I could use to line the king statue's tail.
Stu can get you all the fur you need. Just don't ask whose it is.
Charles, on the other hand, went to the ocean for some lapis lazuli stone. That way I had 2 shades of blue to work with for the armor.
Blue is my favorite color. Vikings love the sea after all, and I'm no exception.
While everyone else is gathering materials for the statue, the tribal gremlin and the coyotes are building a sandstone wall around the perimeter of the base.
Does this look good, Zozo? Don't worry, guys. I think it looks great, no matter what anyone says.
I've got a few larger rooms for training and keeping spare weapons, and I also reused some of the materials from my fences to build a pen for the tamed cactoids. Stu also came back from his last trip with something I'd never seen before.
Hey, Zozo.
What is it, Stu?
I found a bunch of banana blocks in the forest and thought we could use them to make even more bananas.
This is your wildest idea yet, Stu. But I guess having enough bananas to go around never hurt anybody.
That's the spirit. Bananas to all, and to all a banana.
On days 50 to 53, the Dark Wizard finally reared his ugly head. And he wasn't alone. By his side were all of the henchmen I'd come to know and hate. The Skeleton Leader.
I told you I'd be back. And now, I'm back. Again.
The Desert Lord. He doesn't say much. And most terrifying of all, the Champion Colossus. He's probably pretty upset after I managed to sneak into his fortress and save the tribal gremlin.
I'm pretty upset that you managed to sneak into my fortress and save the tribal gremlin.
Told ya.
The time for your reckoning has come, Super Saiyan Zozo. I may have offered you a choice before, but now you have stolen 2 of my fighters away. That is unforgivable.
Well, have you thought that maybe those guys didn't want to be taken prisoner?
Intriguing. Now perish.
I felt my power rising, and once again, I turned back into my Super Saiyan form, ready for the fight. The Dark Wizard's forces attacked the base. Everyone did their best to repel the attack, but the Champion Colossus was simply unstoppable. I couldn't worry about him now, because Skeleton and Desert Lord had closed into melee range and were looking to take me down.
Yeah, no match for us this time, Zozo.
I drew my iron sword and took out the Desert Lord without much difficulty. The skeleton was a lot tougher, but even he couldn't withstand the power of a Super Saiyan. Speaking of Super Saiyan, I felt my power level grow once again as I buffed up to Super Saiyan Blue. I've got 30 hearts and I can fly now. How do you like me now? I was so excited that I almost didn't notice that the Dark Wizard and the Champion Colossus were retreating, and they had taken Charles with them. Charles, no! On days 54 to 57, myself and the other NPCs in the base did our best to repair the walls and training room. Nothing could repair the loss of Charles the Viking though. We had to get our friend back. He didn't deserve to fight other warriors until the end, and he definitely didn't deserve to fight Goku before I got to. I went to the tribal gremlin, half wondering how he didn't get captured when he had already gotten taken beforehand. How can we get Charles back?
It's simple. We go and save him because we want to, and we succeed because we believe we can.
That doesn't sound like a real plan.
The true warrior does not need plans, only the will to triumph.
Okay, look, TG, I just need to know if you have any idea where this Tournament of Champions is being held.
Fine. The truest warriors know that there is a Colosseum deep in the Nether, where only the mightiest fighters have gone. I think Baraka has probably chosen that place as the location of his tournament.
Nether Colosseum. Got it. How do I get there?
The only functioning portal to the Nether in this world was inside of the Champion Colossus's fortress. After you broke in, they most likely destroyed it so you couldn't follow them.
Well, there has to be a second portal. Otherwise, how could they get back to the Nether with Charles?
Think of it this way, Zozo. You could scour the entire world for that second portal, or you could be a true warrior and build one yourself.
Well, I guess I do want to be a true warrior. Building another portal it is. On days 58 to 62, I finally found an underground cavern with some diamond veins. Jackpot! I know that lava caves can be dangerous, but they're perfect for finding diamonds and also the obsidian I need to make the outside of the portal. But of course, diamonds come first. I'll need a diamond pickaxe to mine those obsidian blocks, and full diamond gear wouldn't hurt either. In addition to the magma cubes from last time, there are a few other mobs deep inside the lava caves, like these fire elementals that really meant to do me harm. But now that I'm a Super Saiyan 2nd grade, my buffs to melee attacks without a weapon are through the roof. I can punch cactuses bare hand, magma cubes barehanded, and now even the fire elementals can be defeated with just punches. After I dealt with those mobs, I got back to mining, and before too long, I had all the diamond ore that I needed to make myself a diamond pickaxe. And since I'm here, I think a newly upgraded Super Saiyan deserves some super cool diamond armor and weapons to match. That's right, I'm now decked out in full diamond armor and a diamond sword too. Next, I rerouted some of the water in my base into the lava caves, creating a field of obsidian blocks ripe for mining. I'll be ready to make that nether portal in no time. But there are a few last things I need to do before I can start my quest to finally defeat the Dark Wizard. On days 63 to 66, I take a break from building my portal to continue work on the statue of King Vegeta. Wow, it really is starting to look like him. I wonder what the real King Vegeta would say if he were to see us now.
This is King Vegeta saying, subscribe to Zozo for more cool adventures like this. For the sake of all Saiyans, you should hit the red button and then the bell.
On days 67 to 70, it's about time I went to the nether and settled this. I craft a flint and steel out of materials I found in the caves. Then, I gathered my obsidian blocks and arranged them into the shape of a nether portal. I used the flint and steel to light the obsidian, and boom! The nether awaits. Not too far from the other side of the portal was a giant coliseum over a huge lake of lava. Of course, it had to be close, since a Baraka was kidnapping warriors from nearby. But I never would have found it if I wasn't in the nether. I guess me and the tribal gremlin are even now, since he gave me the hint about this place. Don't worry, Charles, I'm on my way. I made my way toward the Colosseum and found that it was guarded by a pair of zombie Spartans. No doubt the undead remains of warriors that had faced their demise in the Dark Wizard's arena. But they weren't going to stop me. Thorn Shooter, go! Blam, blam, blam! With a few whacks of my diamond sword, I knocked them down for good. On days 71 to 74, I stepped into the Colosseum, only to be surrounded by a cheering crowd of skeletons in the stands. The arena itself was empty, except for another fighter who was standing not so far away from me. He looked really tough, too.
Are you my next opponent?
I'm Zozo, and I've come to rescue my friend Charles the Viking.
I don't know who that is, but I have heard of you, Zozo. Long have I dreamed of fighting a Saiyan warrior.
There's no talking you out of this, huh?
Of course not. I am willing to fight any worthy opponent until the end, and that goes for you too.
The Aztec warrior ran towards me and attacked. He was strong, so I took some damage. I had to play this smart, so I flew into the air and shot him with the thorn shooter a couple of times. Then I landed behind him and hit him with a punch. I drew my diamond sword, and the two of us faced off.
You fight as well as the legends of your people suggest, Zozo.
I don't understand. Isn't Goku here? If you wanted to fight a Saiyan, why don't you fight him?
There is no Goku here. I would have remembered facing another Super Saiyan before you.
But Charles said there was a guy in an orange robe.
I did face such an adversary, but he was no Saiyan. If he was, I probably would have been defeated, like I have been defeated now.
And with that, the Aztec warrior fell. No more time for arena battles. I had to go find Charles. On days 75 to 78, I went to the barracks below the Colosseum and found Charles down there among the prisoners.
Zozo, thank goodness. I knew you'd come to rescue me.
Let's go home, Charles. I've done my share of fighting in this arena, and I say we don't give the Dark Wizard any more satisfaction. We ran backwards towards the arena, but as misfortune would have it, there was an ambush waiting for us. The champion Colossus stood ready to take us on. Well, take me on anyway. Did you think I was gonna have Charles fight this guy? Get behind me, Charles. It's time for Super Saiyan Blue Zozo to show the champion Colossus who the strongest fighter in the world is.
Strongest fighter in the world? Well, that would be me. This isn't the first tournament that the Dark Wizard of Baraka has held. I was the winner of the last one, and he let me go in return for becoming his eternal servant.
That's a sad story, but you're no match for me. I'm stronger than any warrior here. You can't beat me.
We shall see. On guard, Zozo the Saiyan.
The champion Colossus was definitely the strongest enemy I had fought up until this point, but there was no way I'd let him beat me. Too much was on the line. I reached for another pocket of sand, but I was out. Oh no! The champion Colossus hit me hard and sent me flying. Literally flying, because I can fly.
Is that all you've got, Zozo?
Leave Zozo alone, you big jerk!
Charles rushed in for a surprise attack, but it was all in vain. The champion Colossus hit him once, and he was struck down on the spot. Charles! I wouldn't let Charles throw his life away for nothing. I hit the champion Colossus with my diamond sword over and over until finally he collapsed. He was defeated.
Good job, Zozo. You avenged me.
Charles, you're gonna be fine.
I was destined for Valhalla the moment I was captured. You are a true warrior. It's always been you. Take care of yourself, Zozo.
And with that, Charles was gone. I made my way out of the arena and back towards my nether portal. On day 79 to 84, I was still in the nether when I heard the wicked laughter of the dark wizard Abraka echo behind me.
I've finally done it!
What is it now? I turned and saw the dark wizard had grown to a massive size, and he was brimming with power. Holy moly, what happened to you? He cruelly stared down at me like I was an ant he was about to step on.
Now that all the greatest fighters in the world have perished in my arena, I, Dark Wizard Abraka, have been able to absorb their martial arts and become master of magic and might. I am now the perfect being.
You're not perfect. You're not even close. You just stole the strength of a bunch of other people. You don't deserve to have their power, especially if you had to destroy them for it.
It is not for you to decide what I deserve. I have become a true warrior, and that means that all I need now is the will to triumph. Compared to that, what do you have, Saiyan, with that meager power you've gathered?
Maybe I'll never be the strongest, but at least I know who I am. I'm Zozo, a Super Saiyan, a Z-Fighter, and a truer warrior than you'll ever be.
You'll be nothing once I've destroyed you for good.
He stepped forward with the stolen power of all the fallen warriors. I knew I couldn't fight him just yet, so I turned and ran through my nether portal. As soon as I got to the other side, I used my diamond sword to break the portal, trapping the dark wizard in the netherworld. That should hold him for now. On days 85 to 89, I told the others at the base that Charles didn't make it back. They understood what it meant. He was in Valhalla and at peace. What mattered now was making sure that Abraka paid dearly for all the warriors he had sacrificed to gain his dark power.
Hey Zozo, Stu knows how bad you must feel about the rescue mission, so Stu decided to cheer you up by giving you a powerful new weapon. This will definitely help you defeat the Dark Wizard.
Stu gave me a banana bazooka, which was many times more powerful than my thorn shooter. This would be my new ranged weapon. Thanks, too.
Like Stu always says, bananas make everything better.
Later on, I completed the statue of King Vegeta, finally adding the diamond blocks he deserved to his armor. Nice! I had a feeling that the Dark Wizard would be on his way soon, so I went to seek the advice of the tribal gremlin. TG, I need your help.
The true warrior has finally arrived.
What?
I'm speaking about you, Zozo. You went down to that Colosseum and fought and returned. That means that you are now the strongest fighter in the world. You are the champion who must set things right.
What can I do? Abraka still has so much power.
You have power too. You just need to awaken it. There is a great waterfall behind the high cliffs. If you train there, you will be able to unlock your full potential.
On days 90 to 94, I followed the tribal gremlin's advice and sought out the great waterfall. The cliffs were really steep, so I had to use my flying abilities to climb up them. It's a good thing I still don't take any damage when I fall. Thinking back, this was the place I started my journey almost 100 days ago. It was remarkable to think how much I'd done in all that time. I had made friends, won battles, and even traveled to a whole different dimension. It was crazy. There were many waterfalls around this area, but somehow my spirit could tell which one would actually unlock my full potential. I trained my skills with both my sword and my punches, and I could feel myself growing stronger by the day. This is it. I'm going to become the true warrior I was always meant to be. At one point, a few giant lizards attacked me and tried to interrupt my training, but I saw this as another test of my power, and I fought them all off. The banana bazooka that Stu gave me was an excellent weapon for dealing with enemies at a distance. Of course, my melee attacks worked just as well. I will be the one who defeats the Dark Wizard. Me, Zozo, I've got this. When I finally reached the last day of training, I knew that I was the most powerful that I had ever been. A magical halo appeared in my inventory when it was over, probably to show that I had achieved my potential. On days 95 to 97, I was at the base when the coyotes told me that they had found another portal to the Nether, deep in an emerald cave across the desert. It must have been the same portal that the Dark Wizard used to take Charles back to the Nether when the one in the fortress of the Colossus was destroyed. Without a doubt, the Dark Wizard would be using that portal to re-enter the world and wreak havoc. I wasn't about to let that happen though, and prepared to meet him there and settle our score. But first, I had to enchant my gear and put the finishing touches on my base. Using the diamonds and obsidian from the lava caves, I crafted a few enchanted books and gave my diamond armor the Thorns enchantment. It would sacrifice durability, but in exchange, those who hit me would suffer damage. By now, I had enough green dye from the cactus blocks that I was able to make a green carpet across all the floors of the inside of the building. There were now enough bananas and prickly pears to feed an entire village, and with the help of the tribal gremlin, I was able to plant a lovely garden in the shadow of the King Vegeta statue. This place was now the perfect gym for martial artists and warriors everywhere to come and train, and I'd make sure that the world would be safe enough for them to do so. On day 98, I got some last-minute training in with the tribal gremlin. As a fellow warrior, I respected everything he had done for me until now. I promise when I return, nobody will have to worry about the Dark Wizard ever again. Please cheer for me in the comments and let me know what character you want to see me play as next. Tomorrow would be the test of whether or not I was a true warrior, so I spent the rest of the day getting ready. It was almost time for the final battle. On day 99, I was in the Emerald Cave, standing in front of the Nether Portal, when the Dark Wizard finally stepped through.
Zozo, this is a surprise. You ran from me last time.
Never again. I'm going to stop you right here. If you don't want to fight, then go back to the Nether and leave us alone.
What fun would that be? I need to be on this side of the portal, where weaklings like you live.
That's where you're wrong, Abraka. I'm no weakling. I'm a true warrior, and I use my power to protect people. You will go no further. I fired the banana bazooka a few times to slow the Dark Wizard down. As he got closer, I drew my sword and attacked.
You think you could beat me in that form? Pathetic Saiyan.
His attacks were pretty strong, but my thorn enchantment did damage back to him.
Oh, clever trick, but it won't be enough.
Maybe you're right, Dark Wizard. But then again, this isn't even my final form. I started up the halo and allowed the power of my potential to flow through me. My spirit awakened one last time and gave me the power to become Ultra Ego Vegeta. 100 hearts, full power, here we go. I will not let you destroy this world. With my new Ultra Fists, I punched the Dark Wizard over and over. This is for Charles! The Dark Wizard tried to strike back, but in Ultra Ego mode, the more damage I take, the more damage my attacks dealt.
No, all my power, it's being used against me.
It's not your power, but this is mine. With one decisive blow, I punched the Dark Wizard into space dust. Sayonara! The battle was now over. On day 100, I found Stu training with the tribal gremlin in the gym to become a stronger fighter. I guess he really looks up to the Saiyans after all, and all that true warrior talk set a positive example. There's nothing wrong with having a martial arts student, but I guess I wasn't expecting I'd become the master at the end of my journey. I'll be on guard here at the base while I train Stu and anyone else who shows up, because after all, there will always be people like the Dark Wizard who misuse power. From here on out, I'm going to make sure that the power is in the hands of true warriors.